All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adventure on So Many Levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
It's been a few weeks without continuing this campaign due to the scheduling difficulties of multiple adult humans.
Life. Don't talk
Yes.
to me about life.
And even still, we are down to Viv, as Amethyst is still unable to join us this week, and Chooch is busy working for money. And so we're proceeding nonetheless, though. So, I am Christiana Ellis. I am the Dungeon Master. The players we do have tonight are Mark Guilfoyle as Alaric Copperbeard,
Hello.
Starla Hutchton as Nirakina Ethu,
Greetings and salutations.
and Nutty as Granis.
Hello, little people.
Currently with the party is Ottercree, usually played by Chooch. Tonight, manipulated like a marionette.
Dance, puppet, dance.
Also, your young dragonborn NPC buddy, Doke, who is accompanying you because he can speak dragon. Giant. Which has not necessarily come in as useful as it might have because of the dragon.
Well, he's been translating for me.
That's true. So, it turns out so you guys were sent to investigate what had happened to the stone giants, and specifically to deliver a magical item that had been constructed for them, a large version of the magical item known as the immovable rod. It had been made but not picked up or paid for, and so the enchanter who made it said, hey, if you guys can go get the money for this, maybe I'll give you a good deal. And so off you went to investigate, and Doke came with you to translate, the son of said enchanter. You found the stone giant city deserted, except for one stone giant who was strangely malformed, not looking like the others, and who was initially hiding from you and calling you all bad dreams. But later you met Granis, who explained to you a brief story of what had happened, namely a dreamwalker, who is a stone giant who ventures out into the world, had come back telling everybody that the only way to survive the ending of the dream known as the real world was to essentially lock themselves away so that they could be woken up. Since they have abandoned their city, other creatures have moved in, including a rather mean-spirited cave dragon. And the cave dragon has stolen the little reflector that you guys need to open the door to hopefully convince the stone giants to come out, and has basically accepted your challenge of a rock-throwing competition in exchange for the reflector. And if you guys win, you get the reflector. If he wins, he gets the wand of Passwall that Granis has been using to hide in a metal cell. And
Yep.
that is pretty much where we left things. The dark of this enormous stone giant city is currently illuminated by a daylight spell on the beacon. And you also had some lingering spells on you, giving you resistance to poison. And that was leading up to this. But the cave dragon has just accepted your offer and now says, I will prepare an arena for us to compete in. Wait here, and I shall return when it is ready.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's better than the kick in the teeth, which is kind of what he was doing before.
Well, I'm pretty good at throwing things, so.
You all feel a slight rumble beneath your feet, but no additional words are spoken. And it gets quiet. And you realize, now that you have a moment that where you're not fighting for your lives, now that the entire cavern is brightly lit, by the beacon and you are able to take a moment to catch your breath, you look around and the true beauty of this city is really revealed to you for the first time. The sheer amount of statuary and carvings and mosaics cover every surface visible, and all of it is of an incredible quality, and it's really breathtaking now that you can see it properly. And I think, Alaric, you in particular would recognize that not only the skill and talent on display here, but even with a large number of very skilled artisans, it would take years to do all of this. Probably longer, probably generations. And it is unfortunately marred in a few places where cracks and debris have crumbled in or split some of these glorious works of art. But as
Sincerely, we can do something for these people. We live in stone, and to see the stone so beautiful and yet abandoned is, well, it's hell in its own way.
Doak kind of just says, yeah, it's the nature of stone. I think I had just thought of it as a fixed thing, like how could anything ever change it? But now I'm realizing how much it did need to be cared for and maintained.
It's a lot of work to keep a stone city going.
And to appreciate it properly.
Yeah.
But only three weeks? A month? This much destruction. And I mean, it seems like it would take longer.
Granis, you know that the cracks and other sorts of things have accelerated dramatically since the cave dragon arrived.
Well, the dragon, he's always moving around. And that upsets things. And I don't know. It just feels like a lot longer. Everything. It shouldn't be this bad this quickly, but it is. And it all started when he came.
It's because they sense all these things that have come in. They sense that people aren't here. That your people are away.
Not that far. They're just not doing anything.
Sometimes that's the farthest distance. The mind distance, not the physical one.
Yeah, well, then they're all the way gone.
We'll do what we can.
So, when we get in there, that's hoping that we get in there. When we get in there, we'll stay positive. What should we expect to find when we get in there?
Well, they're all just sitting around in a circle, not moving. They're pretty much stone. And like I said, the dream walker is just sitting there in the throne watching them, wasting away. Just not doing anything, not eating, and just... She might be dead by now, I don't know.
So we gotta
Doak
look them
takes
up.
a seat on the ground and is just kind of... That was a lot of running.
I think maybe a short rest is called for.
Oh, he says, I can do something. If you guys trust me,
course.
I have a spell. If you're willing, it will make the three of you go unconscious, but you'll be able to get an hour's worth of rest in just 10 minutes.
Well,
I think we probably have 10 minutes, right?
You'll wake us if anything happens, right?
Well, I mean, of course. I mean, if I wake you up early, it won't, the magic won't take, but you'll be able to wake up.
Well, I could use it.
Yeah, same.
Do we have any idea how long it'll take to make an arena?
I'm hoping at least 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So you want me to do it then?
I trust you.
Okay.
Give it a whirl.
Here's a lesson I learned after the first time I tried this. Go ahead and lie down first.
All right.
All right.
So
Janice is fine without a rest, so Otchkree can take this rest.
yeah, so I think he indicates that he could do all four of you, but if you don't need it, then
I don't know what Otchkree needs, but yeah. I
yeah,
don't need it.
he can do a lower level spell if it's only 3 instead of 4. He indicates it's like I might still need a rest after this, but at least you guys will be, ready to go. And so he kind of starts tracing some symbols in the air and whispering under his breath. And then he's shaking you awake, and you feel better, and you gain the benefit of a short rest. He said, how do you feel? Did it work?
I don't know. When's it going to start?
Well, do you feel better?
I'm trying to think of what that
You can use hit dice.
Hit
That's what
dice,
short
okay.
rest does. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if you just hit the short rest button on the character sheet, you can choose how many dice you want to use right there and all the recoveries.
Here, let's see. I'll do it for
Let's see.
Otterkey.
Pretty bad.
Well, see, it's for Starla, because she's not tracking her HP in D&D Beyond, the short rest button won't.
I'm just rolling dice. So
Yeah.
rolling 4. Let's see. I've got 17.
I see.
That's
You
not gonna
rolled
help.
for you. That's kind of annoying. All right.
So 29, 39.
Did that work? Oh, okay. I need to still roll it for him.
Yeah.
Okay. Just tracks how many he used. Let's see. He's a paladin. He has a D10, I think. Where does it say that? I'm not used to looking at his sheet.
If you actually go in that short rest section, it will break out the ones you have, and it'll tell you which dice they are and which
okay.
bonuses they get.
Yep. D10 plus 1. Okay. So let me
No.
roll those for him.
So I rolled 8 of my 10 available. So I needed it. I was down to 22.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna use 7. Oh, there you go.
Okay. 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 And then okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Archie used most of his hit dice, but is now back up to full.
Yeah, I did something similar.
Okay. So,
Alright.
yeah, so Archie's, I think, kind of stretching and yawning. He's like, yeah, that was just hit the spot.
It's a neat trick, Dokar. Doke.
Yeah, thanks. I could still use a little bit of a rest myself. I'm not doing too bad, all things considered. Got some nice healing. But yeah,
I suppose
if
you're
we
not-
have time, I'm going to go ahead and rest unless you guys know something else we should try to do.
We'll keep watch.
Maybe we need to limber up. Grandis, you're probably the one that's going to be tossing if it's a rock throwing contest.
Yeah,
Did you want to take a few practice throws?
sure.
Right now, you guys are still by the location of this enormous central statue that's designed to be illuminated by the light if you had the reflector. And it's kind of in a big open plaza within the city.
Okay. And I assume there are some big boulders around.
Well, right now, the only ones there are would have to be chunks of the big statue.
Right.
We might need those, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Doak says, well, the shape of the shadow certainly wouldn't be the same if we take pieces off of it.
Yeah, I know. Can I go looking?
Yeah, I mean, you know plenty of places where there is more debris that you wouldn't have to
Okay.
take off the statue.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look for some debris, and I'm gonna do a test toss down the road.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your throw ability.
So I guess, yeah. So that is a 26.
26 is pretty good. You guys watch as Granis picks up a boulder that has to weigh, 40 pounds or so. Big boulder. She holds it one hand and then just hucks it, and it travels 150 feet easily.
That's a good.
That's pretty
finish.
impressive.
Yeah, well, it's kind of what we do.
You know that the way that your people traditionally would play this game is having a specific target that's a set distance away and trying to get it closest to the target. But you didn't really specify that when you talked to the dragon, so it's not necessarily obvious what he might assume is the game.
Yeah, that's true. So, see where I landed that last one?
Mhm.
I'm going to try and make that same throw. It is a game we call Dwarf.
Dwarf.
You got to, every time you miss, you spell a number. So,
Spell a number.
yeah, I mean, you get a letter. Sorry.
Okay, your comment is a little rough. We're working that out.
That's a 23.
All right, yeah, you get it pretty close.
So,
Yeah.
and once you spell out dwarf, then you lose.
Yeah,
Not sure I
so-
like the game.
So at this distance, you're ranged. When you're doing it for an attack, you would be rolling at disadvantage if you're throwing a target that's greater than 60 feet. But like if you're just hawking it full strength, up
I thought
to
the range
240
was
feet.
60 to 120.
Is your okay?
Sorry, 60 to 240.
It is. What that means is within 60 feet, no disadvantage.
Gotcha.
From 60 to 240, throw with disadvantage, and then beyond that, you can't throw it any further than that.
Gotcha.
But right now, I think for the purposes of the mechanic of this game, we'll just use your roll essentially to say how effectively did you get it close to what you wanted.
Alright.
And so, just as a mechanical way to resolve the competition, we'll probably just have each of you roll for multiple throws, and whoever gets the highest is the better throw.
All right.
Oh, with every game, there's a way to cheat. With every game, there's a way to get an edge. So, what's the way to get an edge in a rock throwing contest?
Are you saying you're a cheater?
I say I'm going to win.
The dragon might be.
That's true too. I'm being an eye out for what they might do. That'd be
That
important too.
sounds like something he would do, but I'm not a cheater.
Doak says, well, I don't know very much about this particular kind of dragon, but it breathes poison, and that's kind of like green dragons. And green dragons are definitely evil, and they scheme. They have all sorts of like plans.
And when
Okay.
you're poisoned, you can't throw nearly as well.
Yeah. So maybe I should get like that poison thing that you guys do.
I will cast protection from poison.
So
How long does it last?
just-
I want to wait.
yeah. So as a note, it's not yet been quite an hour since you cast the daylight because you took the quick short rest. But you know that not only did the protection from poison, I believe the protection from poison spell lasts an hour, correct?
1 hour.
Yeah. So you are now realizing that if it takes more than an hour for this dragon to come back, not only will the original protection from poison spell wear off, but the daylight spell that's on the beacon will too.
Yep. All right.
Archie says he can cast that spell too, if necessary.
None of you have a way to help someone throw away.
I can boop her with guidance. And I don't know. Will that give her an edge?
Yeah. It's
Yeah?
well. It's wait. No, guidance is for ability checks. That we're treating this as an attack roll.
Okay. Well,
That's bless, I think.
Yeah, bless would do it.
yeah, I don't have that one. Well, I mean, I have access to it, but I do not have that one prepared. I also
Archie says I have Bane, which is like the opposite.
So
So-
you would do that to the dragon?
I mean, maybe, but that would be a little bit avert. Meaning, you know, if we're trying to be sneaky, it's going to be pretty obvious.
I don't think he'd like that very much.
So, I also have, since we're talking about this being an attack roll, I have Guiding Bolt, which would give a throw advantage. Maybe.
Well, what it does is it gives advantage on hitting something the next time because it's glowing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, you'd
Right.
have to hit the target with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you hit the target with guiding bolt, that would
Mhm.
make it more visible, and therefore you could attack with advantage.
Just so long as I go before Granis. Right?
But then wouldn't the dragon also have that advantage?
Well, Doak
Not if you hit it first.
Doesn't
points
it?
out, it's like, I don't think it sees like we do.
That too.
If it goes through the ground, I mean, I didn't even see eyes. Did you guys?
No, I didn't notice any.
Wasn't really looking that close.
So, I mean, it can sense movement and stuff, but it might not be able to see glowing. I don't know if it can sense magic, though.
There is still the potential I could cast blindness, deafness on it. Just saying.
But if it doesn't have eyes, is that going to work?
Well, if it's
I don't
deaf,
know.
it can't hear anything.
That's true.
Maybe that's how it navigates, like bats. Maybe. Oh.
It's a bat dragon?
I think it more hears through its feet than its ears. At least for finding things.
It's totally tremors.
Well, it doesn't. It's just picking up vibration, which is all hearing is, right? It's sensing
I mean, if you can definitely
movement through air currents is what human hearing is. So if you hear by feeling vibrations through the ground, technically that's still hearing. That's how you hear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know how that would help us though, because I don't think it has to hear the thing to throw a rock at it.
to know
I
where
al-
it is.
I also know how much it stinks when you realize somebody's casting something on you, and you need to realize that this dragon's probably going to know anytime you try to do something to him.
Yeah, Araki says, yeah, I think that might be something to try if we fight it again, but if you make it deaf all of a sudden, even if that works, it's gonna know something happened.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make it lose rock throwing, it's gonna make it know that rock throwing is over and we're fighting again.
It'll make it lose its temper, probably, more than rocks.
Yeah. Well, guidance is all I can really offer them, I think.
Well, that's what a cleric does. They give guidance. If this were a spiritual matter, we would definitely be on.
Well, I don't know if I'm the person you should go to for that.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten used to that idea.
Doak goes over to you, Alaric, and a little sheepishly offers you the dragon tooth dagger, and he says, I kind of wanted it just because it's cool, but I don't even use daggers. And since this thing is really dangerous, I think you should probably have it instead of me.
Are you sure? It is really cool.
Well, if we get out of this, I sure wouldn't mind it if you gave it back to me, but at least for now.
That's very generous, Stoke. Besides, your strengths lie more with magic.
Yeah.
Something I can't really do much at all. I mean, a little bit here and there, and I'll flare off a little prestidigitation sparklers, basically.
So he gives it to you, and if you want to add it in D&D Beyond, it is a dragon tooth dagger, I believe is what it's called. Suddenly second guessing that, but
So I also have to
Yeah.
wonder, with thaumaturgy, I can cause harmless tremors in the ground for a minute. And that could throw him off.
And
Yep.
that's not doing it to him.
Exactly.
Doak I kind of looks up and says, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I can do this." And he kind of mumbles under himself, reaching out a hand, and a little place where the stone of the road has been broken away. He basically points at it, lifts slowly about a 5-foot cube mound of dirt, just lifting it up of it, and he kind of makes it like float around and change shape a little bit, and then basically drops it back in the hole. It's like, I don't know if that would be helpful.
Would that count as throwing rocks?
Well,
How far can you make it go?
I can only move it, 30 feet away from me, and not very fast.
Something to keep in mind still.
Well, and then, you saw what I did with the spider thing in the beacon tower, right? I can make a hand that
stone
grabs
hand.
onto things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That dragon's pretty big, though. I don't know if it would probably be hard to hold that one still. I mean, I could try, but it's pretty big. At this point, you're suddenly in the dark again.
Yep, that happened.
Think you can't do that again today, huh?
Archie says, I have one more, I could cast it. It's one level of that spell, but then I'm out.
I could do it 2 more times.
Doak casts light on just a rock, like a little handheld rock.
I mean,
I
I
think
can
that's
see a ways
sufficient.
in the dark. So can you, Nira. Grannis, can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Okay, so at least I think Autarky has difficulty,
And Doak.
and Doak, of course, but
No, Archie doesn't.
no.
Archie does have dark vision.
Oh, okay.
Amethyst doesn't when she's around,
Okay.
and Doak doesn't.
It's limited. It isn't going to necessarily see like, well, I can't see where you threw that rock. That's for sure.
Oh, it's right over there.
Yeah, I know it's over there, but I can't see it. We're going to need the light if we have the reflector, but that was the point of this particular thing, wasn't it? To have the reflector. Suppose you leave us alone at that point, or another game.
I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that no matter how this game turns out, he's just going to want another.
Now we still have to get that rod back too, which I think he said he had.
No, you guys took you grabbed that and took it with you.
We did grab it.
Yeah, you got it away from the statue and ran away with it.
Okay.
We remembered that one. But by the time we got back to the reflector, he had taken that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you had never verified that it was still there in the first place. When you got there, it was not there. But yeah, Granis had last seen it there, but that was days ago.
Okay. So he actually has the reflector. That'll be good if we can win that back.
And I mean, if the light spell wore off, then probably the protection from poison we're going to wear off soon too. We fought pretty much right after you lit up the beacon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does the beacon change the light that comes out of it, or just direct it?
You know, I'm not sure. Obviously the reflectors, and he's kind of gesturing up at the ceiling. The reflectors are, spreading the light out, but I don't know if there's some enchantment because it seems like it's really effective, but is that clever design or magic?
And whether it needs to be all of the light or just the light coming into this reflector. Because if that's the case, you could cast that spell of yours to get the light back and do it from right here.
Oh, just cast it like on the reflector or near the reflector.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can't see why that wouldn't work. I mean, it would. I'm not sure if it would be exactly the same, but we could probably move the reflector around a little bit to, try it out.
Granis, do you know anything about how this light is supposed to work?
Well, like I said, the light goes from the crystal that's broken, and it goes to the reflector, and the reflector is like right about here. She's standing where it's supposed to be pointing, and then it shines onto the statue there, and then it makes the shadows, and then things can open up.
Well, now do we even need the reflector then?
Yes, because we have to get the light exact the way that it was. It's not just shining light. It's shining light so that the proper shadows are going to be displayed.
So we have to try and emulate it as closely as possible, even if it's only for an hour.
Yeah. Out of character, so the crystal is broken, right?
So
No, we fixed it.
No, actually, that's
The
fixed.
crystal
fixed it.
had been physically repaired, but the enchantment was lost. So the enchantment that used to make it glow doesn't work anymore, but physically the crystal is intact.
And I know nothing about that enchantment.
Right.
Yeah, this crystal used to glow, and it's got to be the same amount of light.
All right. So it's been a little over an hour and a half when near you, even those of you with dark vision see once again the pool of darkness rising up out of the floor, becoming a sphere of magical darkness that is impenetrable even to those of you with dark vision. And once again, the voice is saying, "Our competition ground has been prepared. Follow me and see, because that's what you all like to do, right? See the glories of my lair."
Where is it?
We can't see through all that darkness.
Well, follow. And it sinks down again, and you feel a vibration, and you realize as it sinks this time it's leaving a tunnel behind.
Oh, there's no way this could end badly.
You know, if we were on better terms, this would be an incredibly good person to know.
And
So,
Doak,
by
hold
the
my
way,
hand.
there is now a 15-foot diameter cylindrical tunnel hole just being essentially drilled into the ground.
Well, that can't be good for the city, but I don't see that we have any choice.
Let's go. And she
Yeah.
takes Doak by the hand so that she can guide him.
Hey, look, we got Viv in the chat.
Hi, Viv.
Viv.
Hey, we love you. And, you know, the Lord of the Hunt better be being nice to you. So, you guys realize that this tunnel, as it starts, you see that this magical darkness is receding down beyond it, leaving just regular darkness in the tunnel. And it's actually very steep at first because the dragon sunk straight down at first before sort of leveling out into another grade. But that means I'm going to need an athletics check from everybody as you sort of lower yourselves down into the tunnel. Grannis, you're fine. You don't need to make a check.
We ever catch this dragon's name, by the way?
I don't think he
I
ever
don't
said.
think so.
23.
15.
Yeah, you guys are fine. Otterkey makes... yeah, he gets a 25. Doak kind of, I think, looks to Grannis and says, maybe a little help?
Come here. And she just kind of like grabs him and lets him climb on her back.
Yeah. So he is bypassing the check by virtue of your helping him. So once you get past that initial straight down bit, it is a steep grade, but you know it is not so difficult that you can't just walk down it as though you're going downhill. You're not sliding or anything. But you do see that the ground where the dragon has passed is very even. Even places where you can see that there is soil versus rock, and yet it's all just cut off evenly, and it's fairly clearly some sort of a magical effect causing this, because although the dragon does have lots of little legs that would allow it to sort of propel or burrow through soil, it seems like it's able to dig these tunnels at the same speed that it can move magically. So it has, this tunnel now recedes hundreds of feet ahead of you before you can, and eventually you hear the voice calling from a distance, "Hurry now, I don't like waiting."
We're coming.
Some of us get short legs. Jeez.
Lollygagging. They're just tiny.
So you guys hurrying your way down.
As best we can.
Doak has maintained his light cantrip on the rock, so, you know, dark vision or no, you guys actually have bright light in your immediate vicinity at least. And so you're making your way down, and you descend quite a ways. You are proceeding on a steep downward slope that kind of curves back and forth in a little bit of a switchback here and then there, but you get the feeling after about 15 minutes that you have descended several hundred feet at least.
Hey, Grannis, how deep does your city actually go? Are we below it?
Yes. Your city does not actually go directly underground that much.
Yeah. I say that.
'Cause it's actually part of the, even though your people sort of think of the stone as like home, it's also part of the understanding of the world that you are near the outside and not hiding from it. Usually. So that's one of the reasons that this philosophy of locking themselves up in a vault seems strange and alien to you, because it's usually the idea is to observe the surface world.
That's good to know. Yeah. All right.
So you have descended quite a ways at this point, and every so often you get additional taunts from the dragon suggesting that you continue. But eventually you reach a place where it levels out and opens up, and then there is an enormous open space that has been carved out in this, subterranean cavern. And you can see, looking around, that some parts of it are weathered and uneven enough on the sides that it does not look like it was recently carved out. It had perhaps been exposed to the air for some time. Other places where it's just as even as in the tunnel that you have just exited. But what you see primarily is a big open area that is bracketed on one side by some unusual formations of stalactites and stalagmites that have grown to meet each other in a way that looks almost like teeth, but a whole wall of it. And just at a distance, you're still perhaps 50, 60 feet away, but just glinting in the dim light from the lighted stone, you can see various bits of shiny things amongst those stalactites and stalagmites. But looking around, you also see this sphere of magical darkness waiting in another area that looks much more freshly cleared out. And it is a 60-foot wide, 300-foot long tunnel with about a 40-foot ceiling. And he says, "Is the ceiling
wide
high
was it?
enough?"
So it's a 40-foot ceiling. How wide was it?
60 feet wide.
Okay.
So if you're standing facing down the long way, 60 feet wide, 40 foot high.
Okay.
He says, "I can make the ceiling higher if if you need it for your arc of trajectory."
Hang on, let me check on something real fast.
So would I need that?
I just rattled those numbers off in a way that I didn't do the math of exactly what the necessary one would be.
If Tech were here, he could do it in his head.
Yeah,
This is-
and also, generally speaking, you guys usually do it outside, so you wouldn't necessarily know. But I would say, generally speaking, if you were going for the longest distance possible, for example, if you thought you were going to try to literally throw it as far as you possibly could, it's probably not that. It would need to be higher to get a full
I'm thinking
distance.
I would say at least 100 feet.
Yeah. I think for proper aim. So yeah, higher. I need it higher.
So, what rules do you propose for this competition? I can make the ceiling higher, but I'm interested. You proposed this competition. Tell me how you would like it to go.
Okay. So I think that we create targets, and we have to throw rocks at the targets. And then after each round, maybe we could move the targets further back.
Very well.
What do I remember of the shape of this dragon? Because we did see him briefly.
Yes, you did. So he is now once again shrouded in this magical darkness. But when he was exposed to the bright light when the beacon was lit, you saw that he was shaped kind of like a centipede with a big head and an enormous dragon jaws, but the rest of its body was almost long and worm-like with lots of little legs. And then there were wings, but they didn't look like they would really be functional for flight.
Oh, and of course, there's one major rule that is always involved here. That's you can only use one hand.
Wait, what?
You can only throw with one hand.
Do you say that?
Yeah. It's all
All right.
about arm strength.
He says, "Nonsense. That's not a fair rule. Your body is shaped differently from mine.
Hey, you're the one that's more powerful here. If you say you're not up for the challenge, I guess we'll have
I
to find
want the
another
challenge to be fair.
You want it to be a challenge, or do you want to be a challenge you're going to win easily?
I want it to be fair. I have already given you the choice of the competition. You have been able to choose something you're good at. Why handicap me further?
He does
Well.
have a point.
You're the one bringing all the darkness. That doesn't help anybody here.
You are able to see, are you not?
Not that far. Especially not with your magical darkness. That stuff spreads, you know.
The magical darkness is surrounded around me. You do not need to penetrate that darkness to see where the rocks land.
Well, I can't penetrate any kind of darkness at this distance. We need to have some lights, is what I'm saying. And if your darkness is active, the lights are going to go out. That's not going to be fair either.
I will permit you to create lights near the targets.
That's a good start. Near, I think you have something to help a little bit with light sometimes, right?
No,
can
that's
be-
Doke.
Maybe one particular light.
Doke, Doke has the the light cantrip, and I'm just double checking.
You're not as qualified as Doke in general light, but your light has a lot more range, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At least briefly.
There is no limitation with the cantrip, so he can make as many of them as he needs to, and they'll last an hour.
I think what he's saying is he wants me to cast daylight and get rid of the darkness completely. So he can.
Or maybe, you know, guiding bolt.
But I can only do that 3 more times.
Do you have to win more than 3 times?
Maybe.
This would be like
I said we were going to hit targets and then we're going to move them further back if we didn't have a winner.
Yeah.
Well, we also don't want it to be over too quickly. I propose a best of 7.
Best
Okay.
of 7. Who does a best of 7? It's an
He
odd
does.
number to choose.
It has to be 7, or else you can't get a winner if it's an even number.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, you
odd
could,
number.
but you would definitely get a winner with an odd number.
But 7? That seems like a lot.
Do you have an alternative suggestion?
I think 7's fine.
All right.
You're
Besides,
picking
if
it
you
up
are
bad.
as good as you seem to think, perhaps you will win after only 4, and then make your escape with the reflector you seek.
You're going to let us go if we win, right?
I will grant you the prize that you requested.
Wait. That's
That
not
sounds-
saying that you're going to let us go. You're saying we're going to have to escape. That's not sporting.
Well, it seems to me that we made an arrangement with mutual bets, and it was settled.
Yes.
Do we really have the thing if we can't actually use the thing? I mean, really. You're the one talking about fairness all the time.
You wish to see it? It is over by my trophy wall.
I'm not worried about that part. I think he'll honor his agreement.
He'll just try to kill us.
He did not agree that we were going to be able to leave. It sounds like we're going to have to fight our way out of here if we win. And if we lose too, probably.
I do not wish to kill you if you prove entertaining opponents. Then I would wish to play more.
So you win 1 round bet and win the reflector. If you play again, maybe we can get out with our lives.
Trophy wall, huh? What's
A lot
in
of
this
rock
trophy
throwing.
wall?
Okay, so we're going to do this. Let's just do this.
Did he raise the ceiling?
Not yet. So then, how high the ceiling?
At least 100 feet.
Like like 120 feet.
There's kind of a pause, like it's evaluating how serious it thinks you are.
I saw her arc. I watched her practice, and that's about a good estimate.
It'll help you too.
It's true.
Interesting. Very well. Give me a moment. And it disappears in through the wall, just melding. And then after a moment, you hearing the various sort of rumbling and tremors around, you see all along the length as of this course that he's created, you see the ceiling start to collapse, filling what had been cleared for where the targets would go. And then as he passes back along, you can see the stone and soil being forced back to the sides as he clears. He does this one more time, a pass, dropping the ceiling down and then passing back to push it away. And once he returns, it's a little bit narrower. It's more like 40 feet wide now, but just as long. And now you can see, you don't have a ruler or anything, but the ceiling is substantially higher now. Just eyeballing it, you feel like it's high enough.
Okay.
Very well, then. Did you wish to place the lights by the targets?
Sure. Doke?
Oh, okay. I'll do it. Are we placing more than one, or?
Yeah. So, it's still dark in here, right?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
Doke can
Doke
see
has
well
the
enough.
one rock that he's
Okay.
been holding.
Okay. So he can see where he's got to go.
Yes, and you've seen as you guys kind of edged towards where the dragon has been, like when it came back out and approached you closer, you definitely see that the light from his rock does not penetrate the magical darkness.
I'll go with him just to make sure.
I'm thinking what we've got, what do we have? Like 3 targets in the first row, and then 2 in the second and 2 in the last. Making them the other rows being further away.
How would you like to have the targets marked? Perhaps you place the lights and they are the target, but I would need to know where the targets are as well.
Oh, we'll take we'll take some of this debris that and we'll make a shape for each of the targets.
That is
And,
acceptable.
yeah.
All right, so we'll say that, between all of you, you take the next 15 to 20 minutes or so to make the number of targets you spoke of, making little piles of debris to represent each, and then adding a light. Did you want the lights near or on the target?
You can only do one at a time.
I don't think the cantrip says that, does it?
Yeah, actually it does.
Oh.
The spell ends if you cast it again or dismiss it as an action.
Oh, yes. Well, sure enough. Yeah.
Maybe we could have him place a light on each one as it becomes the target, the active target, maybe.
Is does anybody have candles?
We still have the lantern.
Yeah, I don't want people hitting that lantern though.
Well, it's magical. It's pretty tough.
Oh my god. I feel like we should have used the lantern on that door that's hidden.
No, we realized last time that it's not bright enough.
It's not bright enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you use the lantern on the beacon.
Not on the door where the door was supposed to be.
That doesn't create the pattern that's necessary. It would just create light.
You didn't try it.
I
Yep.
don't even remember. I don't even remember. Is it just a lantern? I don't remember.
No, I think it like illuminates like things that are hidden.
Oh,
dispels illusions or something.
It-
along that
It
line?
shows it can see invisible things. Is the gist of it.
oh wow.
So, does anyone have pets?
I
So
don't
I think
think
Doak
so.
Doak offers that once he remembers that he can only have the light going one at a time, he just offers you can have just torches. He's got some torches.
Okay, let's do that.
How big a rock are we throwing anyway?
I can make whatever size rock you require. I had practiced a bit with rocks approximately 1.5 feet in diameter,
It's a bit
based
too big.
on what I saw outside, or detected rather, because I don't see things. I'm trying to use your words.
Well, I need something more palm size. Like, are we all throwing rocks? All of us?
Well, I thought it was just the two of us.
Yeah.
If you like, I suspect that your stone giant friend will be better at it than you.
I would agree with you.
I wouldn't mind seeing how far I can get, just out of curiosity.
Well, we can do that when there isn't something on the line.
Well, what's the worst? I could win.
Or you could lose.
Well, I'm not gonna.
Let's let the stone giant handle the stones.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so, I think that's a good diameter, about a 1.5 foot.
All right. After rumbling around in the wall for a while, the wall kind of collapses out, and you see that about 25 stones of approximately that size kind of tumble out.
Nice.
Thank you.
If
It's
you weren't
within my
tor-
skill sets.
If you weren't torturing me all these weeks, we might have been friends just to do this for fun. I like these days. Just saying.
I suspect that if you provided more interesting amusement without the torture, then maybe I would consider it.
I almost started to like you, but no.
All right,
Your skills are not going to make up for your mouth.
who goes first? Do we flip a door for it?
Well, first, I would suggest
Wait,
that
what
your
did you say?
companions. Yes, I missed that too. That's an interesting proposition.
Don't get any ideas. Maybe taller and bigger than me.
Why don't the people not participating go over to one side, the side that is not his treasure side,
I
because we don't
suggest-
wanna.
You don't want to wait by my trophy wall?
Well, it isn't that. I didn't want you to make any assumptions about our intentions.
Be my guest. I would love for you to look upon my treasures.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you insist.
I do.
I think she's flirting with him.
So, are you going over by the trophy wall then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It-
I'll wander
by
over
the way,
there.
the place it's the obvious place to stand
Okay.
based on where everything's been cleared out. So as you guys are those of you not participating, make your way over to the trophy wall. We're gonna roll
Actually-
initiative to to have the competition. But I do want everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Good.
So
Good
we
rolls now.
determined that guidance was not
Guidance doesn't
It's-
work for attack rolls.
Okay.
It works for ability
For
checks.
ability checks,
And
Just
only
wanted to
the
make that
next
clear.
one. Like you have to touch her, and then it's only
Right.
the next one that
Right.
happens.
So 11.
Okay.
Why do I feel like the trophy's going to attack next? Be a long time before I find out. Let's see, I got a 9.
16.
Alaric. 9. 0. 16. Then Otterkey gets 7. And then Doak gets 6.
Huh.
All right. So, Nira, you are up first, and I'm going to
Where was the dragon going? What was the...
hang on. I'm just trying to think how to get it all started here. So, Nira, you have the alert feat, which means that you cannot be surprised. So, you are the only one that notices in time that as you approach the trophy wall, 2 of the stalagmites, or rather one of the stalagmites on the ground, one on the ceiling, they look just like stone. There is nothing visible about them that is suspicious in any way until they move.
Can
And-
I, like, stop people?
So, what I'm going to say is that you guys have moved to within 30 feet of these things. And we're going to go to the map. So let's see. Let me zoom this out a little bit if I can. Here we go. So you can see that this is the trophy wall with the various teeth, and so the one on the ground here, and you see as you're getting close that there's actually a what looks to be the reflector sitting near it. And you guys are kind of approaching from this direction here. All right. So I'll say that you have, let's see. And then as these things move, you see suddenly it's got some rippling tendrils. But everyone else is surprised. So you get, because you're also first in initiative, you get a moment of recognizing that these things are not what they initially appeared to be. But you get an action this round, but it is a surprise round. You are not surprised because you can't be.
Are they... They're just stationary and
All
moving
you've
slightly.
seen them do so far is begin to twitch and move and unfold like weird vine-looking things.
Okay, then I would like to fling out my arms and bring everyone to an abrupt halt.
Okay. Are you going to take any other action, or?
Well, they haven't attacked, and I don't want to provoke the big giant dragon into thinking that there's a fight. So,
Okay.
just stopping everybody, and I'm trying to think.
Let's see, there we go.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to stop everybody. Say, wait, look, they're moving.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and begin the encounter music, which is a little bit more intense. Okay, so it is the cave dragon's turn next, and it picks up one of the rocks. No, you know what? I'll go ahead and say that it's not surprised either because it knew this was going to happen. So it picks up one of the rocks, and it's going to make its own throw. And it gets a 13. And you see, you guys, emerging from this sphere of magical darkness is a lower arc than might normally be expected for a throw, but it does emerge pretty fast. And it gets, one of the nearer targets, it gets pretty close to one. And that's its first turn. And now it is these two creatures' turns. So, this nearest one makes 4 attacks with its tendrils, one against each of you. It's going to get. Let's see, that's a. Oh, I guess I ought to say in order. So, I'm going to not count that roll because I want to say in order of what they are. It'll be, Nira, Ottercree, Alaric, Doak, in that order. Okay, that's actually the same die number it was before. So that's 12 against Nira, which I think misses.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, this long tendril whips out at you, even from this distance. And you are able to bat it away with, you got your shield out?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
why
you know
wouldn't.
what? But that seems unfair because I didn't specify that.
Okay,
Like,
well, so, and you also
feels
kind
like
of said
cheating.
that you had your arms out like that.
Yeah.
So, but would a 12 hit without the shield?
No. It
Okay,
wouldn't hit
so
without the shield.
basically you're able to duck it.
Yeah.
So, and then against Otterkey is only a 14. That definitely doesn't hit. And then against Alaric, that's a 20. Not natural, but total.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I suspect Mark knows what these things are for sure.
I've used them against my own players.
Yeah. So, basically, it wraps around you and doesn't immediately do any damage, but you are grappled by it, and it suddenly feeling a little bit like weak, like it's sapping your energy somehow.
Hey, Nira, what the? Oh.
And then against Doak, that's a 22. So he is also grappled by these tendrils, and then the tendrils that had whipped out start to reel in, and it drags both Alaric and Doak 25 feet closer to the thing. 1, 3, 4.
Right next to it.
Yeah. Then I guess so would both be right there, and then one. It's going to try to bite you, Alaric, because you're the first one brought in. That's a 17.
That's a hit.
Okay, so the 17, you're going to take 18 piercing damage from the bite. And then, let's see. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Yep. And then
Jesus
the other one
Christ.
also makes 4 attacks, 2 each against Nira and Otterkey. So first 2 against Nira. That's a 23.
Yeah.
And the other one is would actually be a 22. So I think both of those. You're grappled only by one of them.
I don't think. Hold on. Do I have my? I think I do. I don't think I've used it. The channel divinity. Where is it on this damn
I
sheet?
think you used it a couple of times in the.
But I
past
think
fight.
that was before. Well, I don't think so because I didn't get any melee hits. I don't think, did I? I'm trying to find it on D&D Beyond because I was keeping track of it there.
Okay,
but
well, I mean, you tell me. I thought you had used it some, but I don't know.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to see.
So Otterkey is able to fight off both of the tendrils that try to attack him, but you find yourself pulled 25 feet closer to the other one. So 1, 2, 5, dragged, and you're feeling a little bit weak.
Yeah, I still have 2 remaining uses, so
Okay. Well,
so I
right
think
now,
the last time that I used it was with that spider in the tower, which was before a long rest. So
okay, so yeah, you can use it on the tendril, I guess.
okay, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, that is a what dice do roll for that?
So I think it makes a dexterity saving throw, right?
requires saving throws equals my cleric spell save DC. So yeah,
Okay.
it's a saving throw.
It gets a 17.
Yeah, that beats it.
It's actually not got a super good dex, but it rolled high. Okay, so it would still take half the damage, but so roll your damage dice for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where that is. Why can I not find that?
I don't know. It's your sheet.
Like it's right here. Let's see. Let's see, that's Wrath of the Storm. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 2d8. So
Okay.
all right. I got it. And that is that's a 12. So they take 6.
Okay. Yeah, you feel the electricity course into this tendril, and it steams a little bit. From the electricity coursing through it, but not enough to make it let go, and you're dragged 25 feet closer. And then that is their turn. Granis, it is your turn, and the dragon turns to you expectantly, ready for you to throw a rock. But you've definitely also heard that activity going on over with your friends.
They told me you would cheat. You're trying to distract me, and that's how you cheat. But I'm still better than you.
We all have our little tricks, don't we?
I don't use tricks.
Don't you?
And she takes the rock, and she hurls it. And, oh, that was good. And 27.
Okay, yeah, you're able to just nail that nearby target. Just blam, just right on target. And the dragon says, "Impressive." Okay, so it is Alaric's turn, or excuse me, Otterkey's turn. It is Alaric. It is Alaric's turn. You're up.
All right.
So you are currently, grappled by this thing.
Yeah, it's got me right where I wanted. Wait. Okay. I'm going to try something a little different. Let's see if this cantrip actually will do anything.
See, I've definitely got two different kinds. That's right.
I'm not hearing either one of them.
Yeah, never mind. Don't worry about that.
Would it be fair to be able to draw my weapon as a free action?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use my action to cast the cantrip True Strike.
Okay.
And I point my little finger at it, and I have a little insight. And then, because I've cast a cantrip, I will use my bonus action to attack.
Okay.
And I'll try this new Dragon Tooth dagger. It looks pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try this thing. All right. That is a 14. That was not good.
Okay. A 14 is not enough to penetrate this thing's thick hide. I'm assuming you're attacking the monster itself, not just the tendril?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, 14 is not enough to... this thing has got a natural armor, and, after all, it looked like stone until it moved. It's got a pretty rough hide.
All right.
All right. So that is Otterkey next. And... he didn't get grabbed and pulled towards it, so he's not grappled. But I think what he's going to do is charge in anyway. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 to get up next to it. And he's just going to... I think he's just going to try to just wail on it. With his longsword. So I think he gets... Yeah, 2 attack actions per turn. Yeah, okay. So that's a 20 to hit, which does. That's 12 damage. And then the other one is 16, which is not enough. So he does 12 damage to that one. Carves it up. All right, and then I think he also, he has a couple of these things that can be done as, I'm just thinking. Yeah, I think that's all he does. Okay, that's his turn. Doke's turn. Sorry, I'm having to run a lot of stuff this time. He is going to. Let's see. He's got. Yeah. No, I don't think he wants to do that. I think he's going to. Well, shoot. What does he want to do? Sorry, I'm sorry. This is. I thought I was more prepared than this. Okay. He is going to just. Yeah, he's going to cast Blink again. In this particular case, it's kind of actually what it's more for, to let him blink out of the grapple. Because strength is not his thing. So he casts Blink on himself, and then roll d20, and sure enough, all of you watch as Doke disappears, and the tendril that was wrapped around him just falls limp to the ground.
Good boy.
All right. And now, Alaric, you spot something up in the ceiling.
Oh, great.
Do you know what it is?
Oh, I got lots of guesses, but anything right now just complicates things.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have this up. Yeah. It is going to roll 17. Does that hit?
That hits my AC, yep.
So, what you see as a slimy pink, smaller version of this thing drops off the ceiling and spears you basically with its big, sharp mouth.
I'm going to react with shield.
Okay. So you react just in time and are able to bat it away. It impacts this spectral shield that you generate and flops over to the side, looking pretty useless now that it's on the ground. It basically used its one thing. All right, and another one, Nira. That's only a 14. Does 14 hit?
I haven't put my shield up yet, so it meets it.
Okay, so yeah, then it's going to do 3d6. Ooh, that's actually 13 piercing damage as one of these things drops off the ceiling and then just like slams into your head, and then flops to the ground. All right. That's back up the top. You're Nira. You're up again.
Okay. So that second one is what's got me, right?
The
second
yes, this one
thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it hasn't completely got me there yet, right?
right. Yeah. It is trying to pull you all the way to it so it can bite you. It's also note this one's on the ceiling, 30 feet in the air.
Oh.
You know, in fact, naturally, now that I do math, it's fine. Yeah, that's where it is, though.
You know what? I'm gonna go for it, and I'm going to be unselfish. I am going to cast the cantrip Thaumaturgy and start creating tremors in the floor, and that lasts for a full minute, and it is not concentration. So
where do they just appear around you, or?
It just says I cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute. It doesn't specify.
Oh, let's see. Range area 30 feet.
Oh. And I'm 30 feet out of the arena, aren't I?
Yeah, you're more than 30 feet away from where that's happening.
Okay. Well then, fuck that noise. I'm calling the lightning.
Huh? Lightning?
Lightning, yeah.
Okay. So, call lightning spell?
Yes, because he made the ceiling high enough.
Yeah, I'm going to allow it anyway. The ceiling in here is not as high as over there, but I'll allow it anyway. That the cloud, there is enough space in this cavern for the cloud to form.
All right.
All right, so where does this lightning strike?
I'm aiming
Note
for
also, this is the reflector that you need.
Well, I can't grab the thing and hit the thing at the same. So I'm just gonna aim for the one that's got me.
Okay, so you're aiming for this one.
Yep.
All right, it makes a dexterity saving throw, correct?
Correct.
That's a 14.
And that does not meet it. It needs 15. That is 3d10. Hold on. And, where's my d10? There it is. Okay. Oop. 13, and it gets knocked back, I think.
Okay.
Can it get knocked back? Like, is it attached
Well,
to
it's
something?
attached to the ceiling. That's an interesting question. 13, you said?
Yeah.
I'm going to allow that your thing knocks it off of where it's hanging on the ceiling, and it's going to fall to the ground, and it's going to land on the ground and take 3d6 bludgeoning damage from falling.
Nice!
Oops. Okay, that's an additional 8 damage as it falls and lands flopping on the ground.
Would that be considered prone?
Yes.
Does it still have me grappled?
Well, its tendril is still wrapped around you.
Okay.
You have to use an action to break the grapple or some other thing that would
Right.
do it.
No, I think I'm okay. Yeah, so that's all I can really do anyways.
All right.
Because I don't think, I could run toward it, but actually, no, yeah, because I'm in melee range of this. So if I run toward it, does this other thing get an attack of opportunity? The one I'm right next to?
Yes.
Okay, I'm staying put then.
Okay. All right. It is the cave dragon's turn again, and it's going to throw another rock. He suggests one more round at the near targets.
Yes. Sorry.
That's only a 10, and once again you see that it is compensating for its inability to throw it high. You're not even really sure what sort of mechanism it's using in terms of anatomy, but it's throwing it more or less straight out, but pretty fast, but it still ends up sort of tumbling along the ground before it comes to a stop trying to reach the target. And even still, it's still a ways off from the target. It's not even as good as the first one. And it kind of grunts in frustration. Ah!
You know, we only let rolls count for kids normally, but I'll let it count for you.
It growls in frustration.
I'm
okay.
taunting the dragon.
All right. The first roper, it's their turn again. And given that it already has, so it has Alaric grappled. Nira is grappled by the other one. Otterkey is not grappled. I think it's still actually because it doesn't have Nira grappled and it's not caring much about its partner. It's going to take 2 tendril attacks against Nira and 2 against Otterkey. First 2 against Nira. That's an 18.
Yeah.
And then the second one is actually even higher. So now you're grappled by 2 of them.
How the hell does this work?
Yeah, they're fighting over you, so you won't be going anywhere.
And then against Otterkey. Oh, that's a 24. That's gonna hit. So now he's grappled as well. It reels in, and although you're pretty much already adjacent to it, so it doesn't really drag you any closer, but you feel the tension, pulling you taut towards it, and now it's actually going to bite Alaric again, where it already got kind of a taste.
All right.
That's a 26.
You're so close.
17 piercing damage.
Ouch.
All right. The other one is going to use its movement to sort of wobble itself upright from prone again, and I'm going to say that it's stunned this round from falling. All right, Granis, you're up.
So Granis looks over her shoulder at her friends or companions and just says, "You might be better at throwing if you weren't distracted by having your friends hurt my friends."
I'll be all right.
"Sure you will." She picks up a rock, and while looking over her shoulder, while looking over her shoulder, sorry, she gets an 11.
Okay,
I was all
11.
cocky.
So you had a pretty clumsy throw for you, but because the dragon also threw poorly this round, you actually still get closer.
Excellent.
All right, so that's 2-0. All right, Alaric, your turn.
All right. Biding my time and looking just at that one spot, that little spot where the extra little joints all connect together. I still have the favor of the true, or the insight from the spell.
The True Strike? Does that
True
less?
Strike.
I thought it was only one attack. Am I
It
wrong?
is until your next turn. You gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target while the spell isn't ended.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming
I'll
that
allow it.
was
That's
at the end
fine.
of my turn.
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise it takes an action to cast and you never be able to use it.
Well, I had always interpreted it as being the normal way would be you use it one turn, you benefit from it the next turn,
Right,
because
and I used the
it
last turn.
right, but because but I assumed that it was always because it is good for one attack and then you used it with the bonus. I'm going to allow it this time because I don't want to
Okay.
look it up. All right.
Okay. I didn't take the advantage on the attack last time anyway, so.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, go for it. Yeah, you're good. You can also try to break the grapple if you want.
Yeah.
Or for that matter, you could also attack the tendril.
No, I'm going after it, but I still only got an 18 to hit.
Okay, unfortunately, that's still not enough. This thing's really tough.
Right, well, we'll try to strike again.
Okay.
Do my allies count as being nearby me for this case?
Well, one of them is literally right next to you.
Oh yeah, Otterkey's not actually caught, is he?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, good. And I roll a natural
Oh, no,
one.
I'm sorry. He was grappled in that last turn.
Okay, I rolled a natural 1 anyway.
Okay.
So,
Unfortunately, no.
it's going downhill from here.
This thing has got you wrapped up in its tendril and is chewing on your head. It's a little awkward.
Don't worry about it.
All right. All right, it is Otterkey's turn. He is going to try to break the grapple. Actually, no, he's going to use his first attack to attack the tendril on him instead. And that's a 24, which definitely hits. And then for damage, 9. So he slashes at this tendril pretty severely. Doesn't quite sever it though. So he's going to try again. And once again he hits it. And this time he cuts the tendril and he's no longer grappled by it. But that's all of his attacks for the turn. Although you guys see, even as he severs this tendril, that the roper, this monster, seems to already be unleashing a new one. All right, that was Otterkey. Doke pops back into existence. I'm going to say he pops in right here, and he's going to say, "Finally!" And a fireball erupts around this one.
Oh no.
All right. So that one makes a dexterity saving throw. It actually rolled a 19, and with
Is
its
it still
modifier, it's
stunned?
is an 18.
Didn't you say that one was stunned?
I did, didn't I? Stunned. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Stunned is that advantage on attacks? Well, it does have disadvantage on saving throws.
Automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws.
You're right. I did say it was stunned. That's totally fair. All right. So it automatically fails the saving throw then. And so that means Doak gets to roll 8d6.
Woo!
Wow.
Just hope you put it careful, because it's probably close to the thing.
Yeah, I'm going to say he was smart enough to. Well, yeah, it is not going to hit this, but it is going to incorporate some of that.
Yeah, it's like a 20-foot range,
Alright.
or 20-foot radius.
Okay, that was. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to remember where I was at. Okay. That's 31 points of fire damage. And it takes all of that. It is not resistant to that or anything. And in fact, that one, so let's see. Yeah, that one is substantially scorched. And you can also see that there's, some scorching all over the wall here too. All right, and then let's see, roll for his blink. But he does not disappear this round. Okay. That was Doak's turn. And then, yeah, no new action from the piercers this round. Nira, you're up again.
I'm going to hit it with lightning again.
Okay. This same one?
Yep.
All right. Once again, it's going to make a dexterity saving throw. It keeps rolling really high, even though it has a -1 modifier. Nope, that's only an 11 this time.
Gets hit.
Alright.
$14. And I don't know how you the pushback effect also.
Yeah, so I'm going to rule on that in just a second. That one is starting to look relatively weak. It is pretty hurt by all comparison. So technically it was still grappled, but because you're now grappled by the other one also, I'm going to have it make a strength check to see if it a contested strength check with the other one. I'm going to rule. So it
Tug of war
rolls
with the high elf.
It rolls
Nice to be so
a
popular.
12.
Must be nice to be so popular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it rolls
not
a 12.
really.
The other one rolls a 17. So it loses its grapple on you and is pushed 10 feet back. The other one still has you grappled. All right. That was Nira's turn. The cave dragon turns to you and says, "The medium targets now."
Yes.
This time it manages to get a pretty good arc, and it rolls a 19.
Whew.
It says, "Ha! I've shaken the rust off a bit." All right. It is the Roper's turn now. This one is going to send 4 tendrils at Doak. Yeah. It gets a couple of them on him. It's going to 12, 10, 15, 20, 25. And it actually doesn't... yeah, I guess that is adjacent still. All right, so it's pretty close. And then it's going to bite him or try, and it succeeds. Whew. That's a relatively high roll. So he takes 23 piercing damage. Ow!
Yeah, tell me about it.
All right. So let's see. Okay. All right. That is that roper, and then the other one has basically got all three of you grappled still right now, so it's only gonna just bite Alaric again because it's been doing all right with that. That's a 17.
I'll use shield again.
Okay. Hung. It's kind of stupid. It does not understand what just happened. You were so soft and chewy before,
Yeah. Yeah.
but its teeth grind against this arcane force field you've generated. All right, Granis.
All right. You did good throw there. I'm not going to throw away my shot. I'm going to pay attention this time.
You're a little bit quiet,
Wait.
Minnie, if you can.
Yeah. Aren't you supposed to throw your shot?
All right. Natural 20. So that's
Oh.
29.
Nice. Yeah. Your rock basically just bullseye right on the medium target. The dragon kind of snarls. Good throw. Clearly you're experienced at this.
Well, when you don't have friends, you have rocks.
I know this song. I know this song
Now-
so well.
You're still just seeing this sphere of magical darkness, but you get the tiniest sensation that the darkness has just cocked its head a little bit, like. All right,
What did you just say?
Alaric, you're up again.
All right. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to once again cast True Strike.
Okay.
And again, because I cast a cantrip, I get as a bonus action an attack. I will try to attack. God. 18.
18. Yeah. Unfortunately, these things are pretty tough.
Yeah.
All right. So the that was your turn. All right. Otterkey now, and oh, you know what? I didn't have it attack with its tendrils last time, but I forgot that he did sever the one that was on him. That's fine. I'll not retcon it. So basically, he is still not grappled, is what I'm going to rule. And he is going to first attack the tendril. You know what? He's going to use his action to break your grapple, Alaric. He's going to make an athletics check. Oof. You know, he did not do very well on that particular athletic check.
He hit me.
No, so he only rolled a 12, which is not enough. The tendril is squirming around as he's trying to grab it, and it's interfering with his ability to free you. You know what? I think
After it hit me, he hit it.
he does have some bonus action spells, I think. So let me, what are his bonus action spells? Sorry, this is what happens when I'm not able to, let's see.
Would it be easier, like, if Mark had a hold of his character sheet?
Well,
maybe?
let's not complicate it right now. I'm just double checking. Oh, see, that's part of why I forgot Paladin. No cantrips. Okay, yeah. So that's all he's got this turn, unfortunately. Doke's turn again, and he is going to. He's going to firebolt at it at disadvantage because he is right adjacent to it. Oh, you know what? No, he's actually not going to do that. He's going to open his deck of cards and flip one off to the side here. Where's my deck of cards? There it is. All right. Eh. It is a Queen of Spades. And so what does that bring? All of a sudden you guys see at the location that he tossed this card, you see a female figure emerge from the ground. At least the torso looks female, and then the lower half of the body is a snake, and it has writhing snakes for hair and hisses.
Oh, great.
Medusa has apparently appeared over here. I don't have a token for it. This is the Medusa token. It's not, doesn't actually look like that. It's Medusa. But then rolls for his blink. Yes, and once again, boop, disappears out from its grapple.
Handy spell.
Yeah. All right. That was okay. And nobody has moved, so the piercers can literally only attack things that are directly below them. So you guys haven't moved, so there aren't no new ones that can attack yet. Nira, you're up again.
All right, we're going to use the lightning again
All right.
on that one over there.
All right. Once again, dexterity saving throw, no longer stunned. But this time it only rolls an 8.
All right. $15.
Okay. That one is looking very hurt now, and is it knocked another 10 feet back?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Then it is the cave dragon's turn again, and it's going to once again roll, and it recognizes that it's now 3-0. So if you win this next round, then that's best of 7. But it doesn't say anything. It's just preparing its roll. It gets 17, which gets pretty close to the medium target. All right, it is the Ropers again now, and this one is going to send 2 tendrils against Otterkey. That's a natural 20, so it's definitely grappled. The other one would have missed, but then it's going to try to send 2 tendrils at the Medusa. And I don't even know why I rolled for that. It rolled a natural 1 with one of the tendrils, so it doesn't even know that it didn't connect with anything. And then, yeah, so it sends 2 tendrils over there, but the tendrils just whoosh right through it. And then the other Roper is going to send 4 tendrils at that also go right through it. And I was also about to roll again. So it is distracted by the illusion. Okay, Granis, you're up.
Alrighty. Here we go. Granis just kind of looks into the darkness.
You're very quiet right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
It is, but yeah, when you lean away from the microphone and talk quietly.
Yes, sorry. I'm not used to being quiet. I'm always so loud. Anyway, Granis just kind of looks at the darkness and then looks at her target. This is fun. I almost don't want to make this shot so we can play longer. And I don't. But I mean, I do, but it's still a 14. But that's
14.
Not gonna beat the
Yeah.
17.
So this throw is not one of your best, and unfortunately, it does not land as close as the dragons did. And it says, "Ha ha! You have flaws after all." All right.
Almost like I like
It is
playing.
3-1. Okay, Alaric, you're up.
What's the definition of insanity? Trying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
So I have the effects of the True Strike. It is on the next turn that it takes effect. That's why
Okay.
I'm using.
Okay. Well, also one note that I just realized that it wasn't your fault that you sounded quiet to me. It was something wrong with my headphones.
Ah, okay.
All right. Okay. So it's fixed now. Okay. So go ahead and make your attacks, Alaric.
Well, the advantage gave me some effect. That's 22 to hit.
Okay, yeah, 22 hits.
Okay, and this is with the new dragon tooth thing.
Okay.
And it's sneak attack because I had advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So, eventually, I might hurt something. Or myself. 13 points of damage.
Okay.
That's what we're waiting for. That's with the extra acid damage that it does.
Okay.
The tooth digs into that one little spot I've been aiming at for a while.
Yeah, it snarls.
And I'll take my second attack,
All right.
which I rolled a 2, so never mind.
Okay, yeah, 2 doesn't hit. Okay, Otter Key is he's
Actually, I will take my bonus action.
oh, okay, yeah,
I will do a second wind.
okay. So you are regaining hit points with that.
Yeah.
All right, great.
I need it. Mm-hmm. We'll roll.
So Otter Key is, I think he just shouts, is like, I think this thing just has as many tendrils as it needs. And he's going to make his own 2 attacks against it. That's a 19, which is not enough. It glances off of its rocky hide. That is a critical 20.
Ooh.
Critical hit. All right. So that hits. And then his sword doesn't do anything special, I don't think. But he is going to load a smite into it. He's going to, let's see. Yeah, I think he is going to cast, which smite? Branding smite? Yeah, I think, no, you know what? He's gonna just use Thunderous Smite on it. So it does, first of all, the regular damage of the sword, which is only 8 damage, but then it needs to, oh yeah, so it just takes additional, rolling well on that, an additional 9 thunder damage as a crack of thunder rings out from his sword blow. And it's so,
Is it pushed back?
it'll do a strength check in a second. So that was 8 plus 9, so 17. And now it makes a strength saving throw. It needs to beat 16. And it only gets an 8. So it is pushed back 10 feet away and knocked prone. And I'll go ahead and say it is bowled over Nira in a way that is not harmful to Nira. And lands there, and it is prone.
Am I
It is blasted off of its little perch.
am I dragged with it?
I'll say you're dragged part of the way. Like, it drags you a little bit, but it's relaxed somewhat by virtue of it getting knocked off its little stump.
Damn. Okay.
You know what? I'll have it make a strength check to see if it holds on to you.
And me?
Well, it was knocked in your direction, so it wouldn't be like a pull in the same way. It gets a 13. I'll let you contest that, Alaric. How about that? Roll a strength check.
Strength check?
Yeah.
Okay.
At disadvantage, because you're weakened by the tendril.
Disadvantage, that's a 13.
Oh, so it's a tie. I'm going to say the tie means that you are pulled partly along with it, still grappled. Okay.
In my reach now.
Well, you could still move towards it.
No, I'm grappled. My speed is 0.
That's true. Yep, yeah, that's true. All right, that was Otterkey's turn. It is Doke's turn. He's gonna pop back in. I think he can only be like 10 feet from where he started, I think. I'm gonna pop back in right there. and cast Firebolt at it. Well, let's see. Yeah, that is what he's going to do. That's only a 10, so he misses. He strikes it on a tough, thick part of its hide, and then rolls for his blink, and he does disappear again. Okay. And yep, no piercers this time. So Nira, you're up again.
Finally, everybody is clear of it, so that I can call the lightning on the one that's got me.
Okay.
Striking towards the back of it, so that I don't get hit.
All right.
It's not conductive, right?
All right.
Well, the other one wasn't when I hit it with the lightning, so and it had me. So
That's true. I was thinking I might do it, but I'm gonna be. You're right that I didn't do it the last time. I'll be consistent. So it rolls a 7 for its dexterity saving throw.
Right. 14.
14. So how does this one die?
Oh, I thought the one that.
Oh, never mind. No, you're right. You're sorry. You're attacking the other one this time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. 47.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's cool, but
Spoilers that's enough to kill the other one. Okay, yeah. And it can't be knocked 10 feet back because it's already against the wall.
Okay.
All right. So that was Nira's turn. Cave Dragon. And it just kind of motions towards you, Granis, and just says, "Seems like your friends are doing okay over there. Does it bother you to see them in danger?" And it makes its throw and gets a 14.
It bothers me that they're in danger, and it bothers me that you cheat.
I didn't cheat at all.
You're
It was
trying
never
to-
part of the rules that they are not participating in the competition. And my fans are simply rowdy and fighting with your fans.
I never had fans before.
It is the Roper's turn. This one is gonna still keep trying to attack the Medusa because it's dumb. I keep trying to roll for it. Doesn't need to roll because it's an illusion. It misses because its tendrils go right through it. Okay, the other one though is gonna right itself, and let's see, its otter key is no longer grappled by it, so it's gonna send two tendrils at him. That's cocked. And that is only a 14. And that's an 18, so that's also still not good enough because he's got a shield out by now for sure. Yeah, so he is able to not get grappled again, but then when it reels in its ones that it's got grappled, Nira and Alaric are...
I'm just Alaric's complaining about getting tired.
Yeah, getting dragged along the ground. This time it's going to try to bite Nira. And that is a 15.
That'll do it.
Okay.
But I'm also going to use Wrath of the Storm on that, so.
Okay. 15. That is 19 piercing damage. And
Ouch.
but you use Wrath of the Storm.
Yeah.
It rolls a dexterity saving throw. 11.
That does not.
Yeah, that's a failure.
That's a failure. So
Yeah.
2d8. That is an 11.
Okay. All right.
You said
So it
19
takes-
piercing, right?
11 of its own, yeah. Okay. That was the Roper's turn. This one sends its other two tendrils to the Medusa, but it's an illusion. These things with an intelligence of 7 are not figuring that out. That's actually higher than I was expecting. Anyway, Okay, so Granis, that makes it your turn. You're fighting against, I believe I said 14? No, I
think
think
so.
7. Did I say 14 or 17?
17 was last time. No, wasn't it? I can't remember.
It was 14.
14.
Mother Dragon, what
Okay.
is it?
I believe that it was 14. That is actually what I said first, so.
Come on, dice, do the thing. Oh, well, that's better. 26.
All right. So once again, you nail the target pretty much exactly. And
That's 4, isn't it?
yeah, it is, and it kind of grunts and it says to you, "How about we increase the stakes and keep going?"
Tell me of these stakes.
You wish to be able to leave. You had previously expressed regret that you had not included that in your wager prior to now. What if I put that on the table?
And what am I giving up? What's my wager?
How about this? You will be allowed to return to the surface. And then, once anyone else comes visiting, you'll tell them it's safe to come in. Bring me more people to play with. You will owe me 4.
When you say I will be able to leave if I win, that includes my friends?
Yes. You and your allies.
I will do this if you stop your fans while we play from hurting them.
It seems like your friends have already got them well under control.
Yes, but I don't know if more fans are going to show up, do I?
Very well. We will begin with a new best of 5. And the dragon suddenly sinks down into the floor again. The rest of you feel a little bit of a rumble. And actually, it's not its turn yet, so hang on. We've had that conversation happen, but now, Alaric, it's your turn.
Okay. I just gonna stab it.
All right.
It's in frustration.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
There you go. That'll do it.
Woo!
I have an ally with me. Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay. 30 points of damage.
30? How does it die?
Just out of frustration, I kind of half-heartedly look away and then just sort of stab it in the same spot desperately. I've been trying to hit all this time. I miss it and end up squishing it straight to its eye.
Yeah, so the dagger drags across its bony hide and ends up finding the soft spot, penetrating its eyeball and sending gooshy eyeball fluid all over your hand. And then the thing suddenly surges and and then flops over and all of its tendrils go limp.
I kick it out of spite.
Okay, and then it's Otterkey's turn, and then he's just gonna say, "Great job! I'll get the other one."
That other one's not dead
And
yet.
I think when he's just actually gonna pull out his bow and fire on it from range. That's a 25 to hit with the first one. And then that's going to be only 3 damage. Second attack. Oh, the second attack unfortunately misses. So he kind of says, usually they hurt more than that. Okay, that was Otterkey's turn. Doak poofs back in, and he I think he just says, "All right, one down, right?" And he's gonna firebolt the other one. And that is a 22, which hits. He's like, and as you see this bolt of fire, streaking towards it, he's like, "Yes!" And that's going to be 13 damage, which goes right into its mouth, and its eyeball explodes.
Oh, jeez.
It's all about the eyeballs.
So they're both dead.
All right.
All right.
Now we look at
And
the
then,
ceiling.
and he does not disappear this round. Okay. So, Nira, you're up again. Incidentally, these two things, now that they were on the ground, are kind of sort of creeping away in that direction. They look pretty weak, though. Incapable of actually, doing much.
Alright, well, you can hit one of them with lightning anyway, because I've got the spell up, so...
Yep. Which one?
We'll do the one, I guess, that's closest to me.
All right. It rolled a natural 20 on its dexterity saving throw.
Well, I think it still takes half damage.
Yeah.
That'd be 12.
12. Yeah. Okay. So 12 is the half, or the.
Oh, no,
So
6.
it would take 6. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So it's got a burn mark where it was struck, but it's not dead. All right. The dragon is going to resurface near you, Granis, and say, "See, what did I tell you? Now, shall we
change the
resume the
terms.
competition?"
It doesn't change the terms. Any new fans can't hurt them.
Very well. Then, shall we begin? Only the most distant targets now.
Okay. Why do I have a feeling that the dragon just went and got a boost or something?
Well, I was imagining that it was going to go over there to finish off the ropers if necessary, but then they were dead anyway, so... and it actually just rolled a natural 1 on its throw, too, so...
Oh! That'll be fine. I could roll a 1 and still beat that.
Practically roars in frustration, and you guys feel the whole cavern shake.
Keeping an eye towards the ceiling for anything else that falls down on top of us.
All right, Granis, you're up.
You just have to go to your happy place
Normally that would be underground.
of good times and throw. And that's a 12.
All right.
I rolled low too.
Yeah. Well, it still beats, 7, which is what the... All right. Okay, Alaric, what are you doing? The ropers seem to be dead.
Are there any more of those things about to fall from the ceiling?
Make a perception check.
Sorry, 10.
Yes, several, but it's kind of shadowy up there, so it's a little hard to get a sense of exactly where they would drop.
Great. Well, I try to keep an eye on them and try not to stumble over things to kind of make my way around. I want to actually see what's in that treasure hoard of his.
Okay. Are you going to move in that direction?
Yep.
Straight up?
Yep.
All right. No piercers drop on your head.
That's good.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
That's better. 16.
So you discover that while there are glints and glimmers here and there from shiny things, metal or metallic things, what you see primarily decorating these stalagmites and stalactites is corpses of a variety of different animals.
Why did I have a feeling it was going to be bodies?
Mm-hmm. All right. That was Alaric's turn. Otterkey's turn. I think he's gonna make his way to towards this one. But then as he steps there, another one tries to drop on his head, but misses. So it takes its own falling damage. Takes 5 falling damage as it flops to the side there. And then I think he looks at the one that he was going towards to try to attack, and then looks at the one that's right next to him and just attacks that one. And that's the 27 to hit, so yeah. It's a 13 damage, and then the second attack. Oh, the second attack actually, it wriggles out of the way of his sword. All right, so I think then he is actually gonna look up at you and then just say, "So do we just watch now?" Doak is going to make his way in this direction to just kind of go and retrieve the card, which the Medusa disappears and he puts the card back in his deck. All right.
Took got to actually use his stuff. I'm so happy for him.
He's doing pretty well, actually.
And he kind of says, "My Lich card was still left behind when we were running to the vault." Nira, you're up.
Well, I mean, that spell is still going around, so I'm gonna zap another one.
All right. So it gets. It's the second time that same little slug rolled a natural 20 on its dexterity saving throw.
Let's say 5 damage. That's half damage, so yeah, 5.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty crispy, but not dead. These things are a little hardier than you might expect, but given what they grow into, that's maybe not too surprising. Okay, the dragon is grunting with frustration now. You can feel it. You can hear it breathing hard and kind of muttering to itself in Draconic, or what you assume is Draconic. I don't know that any of you speak Draconic. Dope does. Any of the rest of you? Draconic?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Shadow does. That's a different game.
Yeah. Okay, so it does its throw. Well, boy, it is rolling low for the throws. Like, it has a modifier, but yeah, so that's actually still a 13.
Okay.
Okay. So that's your throw next.
All right. By the way, Shadow would totally have made friends with this dragon. Oh, that's nice. So that's a 25.
All right, so that means that it's now, you're 2 up in the new first to 3.
Yep.
Okay, and you hear it snarling again.
What's your name?
And it's actually, at first you hear it just sort of muttering more in Draconic, and it's continuing to mutter while the DM looks up her notes. Because I had a name and I'm blanking on it because it hasn't, come up. Why is my notes not working here? Come on. Sorry, it's taking... Oh, I'm embarrassed now because this is... What is going on?
So while the DM looks that up, the character from the other game, Curse Estrada, is like, you gotta be friends with the dragon. You gotta make allies with the dragon.
Only one dragon deserves that.
Hey, there's Rapjaw.
It is Malefex is its name. All right. And it grunts to you and just says, "I am Malefax. You would do well to show your respect."
I'm Granis. We never gave each other names, and I don't know. I've been having fun. Have you been having fun?
Get kind of an angry snort, like maybe it's not having so much fun right now.
I don't think it is.
I'm usually the one that's got the bad taunting ideas.
That's the player laughing, not Granis, just
Yeah.
so you know.
Fair enough. It's your throw.
Oh, I already did it.
What? Oh, you're right. You did. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so that was your throw, and then Alaric. Are you doing anything else?
I'm just keeping an eye out for more of those things. Kind of
Okay.
retracing my steps.
Make another perception check.
That's better. That is a 25.
Okay, you are in tune with the environment here, and you're listening carefully, watching for any sign of additional movement or sound, but you don't hear anything else in this area. Just the increasingly angry and frustrated snarls from the dragon.
Yeah, he's gonna blow. Even if you manage to win at this point, he'd probably blow.
I don't know that there's anything we can do.
Be ready to run.
I think Ottercree is going to look back at you and maybe kind of just mouth, "Slay the dragon."
Tried that once.
Did they hear the stakes?
I'll say that you guys heard that. I mean, you were a little distracted, but I'll say you got the gist of it.
Yeah.
It is Doke's turn again, and he's gonna just he's looking up at the ceiling and taking a little bit of a circuitous path here.
It's like
and
you can read these dots on the floor. It's like,
Yeah.
those are just set decoration. They don't mean anything. Anyway, I think he just he comes and he's just looking to the rest of you. He's like, "What do we do? I'm not sure he's gonna let us go no matter what."
I mean, we'll fight if we have to, but nobody gets left behind.
yeah. It's not a good option, but we can certainly try.
All right, Nira, it's your turn again.
Spell is still up, so casting it and hitting that fucker that just won't die.
That time he gets a natural 1 on his saving throw, and I'll say that he is a scorch mark.
Finally. Ugh.
Does it smell like cooked shrimp? Because it looks like cooked shrimp.
Rock shrimp. Okay, the cave dragon is you see it move over the pile of rocks, takes its time, and throws 19.
Whew. All right.
And at the distant target, that's a close but no bullseye.
Yeah. Come on, good roll. 23.
We must play again. Another game.
I could play another game with you. But I don't think we need to constantly up the stakes. I mean, you've not been having a good time at this. Wouldn't it be nicer if we played a game for fun?
This time I choose the game.
I don't know. I've won 2. I'm not sure I need to play another. I won the beacon. I won for me and my allies to leave. I'd like to play with you again. But I don't know.
I kind of want to sidle up to the beacon just in case I have to grab it and run.
How big is the beacon?
Yeah. That's,
It's fairly big. It's not, doesn't look like it would be heavy so much as it's unwieldy. It's gonna be like sort of like an arms spread arc and about 3 feet tall.
So it'd be easy for me, slightly cumbersome for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just it says, I will choose the next game, and you and your companions will stay and play.
So you're gonna welch from the last game.
You and your companions will stay and play.
So you're gonna welch on what we decided the results of the last game would be.
Call it what you like. This is my domain, and I will play when I want to play, with whom I want to play, and I want to play now.
So your stakes mean nothing. The bet means nothing if you won't deliver. What's the point of a game if you won't do what the results say? You're better than this.
It disappears into the ground.
All right, let's go.
I don't think he's better than this. I think he's going to come after us.
Let's
Let's
go.
get this thing out of here.
Make a dexterity saving throw, Otterkey, Doke, Nira, and Alaric. Let's see, Doke gets... Doke rolls a 7.
19.
Alaric. Doke actually gets a 10 because he's within 10 feet of Alaric.
I got a 13.
And then, I said within 10 feet of Otterkey is what I meant to say.
Sorry, yeah.
And then Otterkey does fine. So Nira and Alaric, what did you guys get?
19.
14.
14. You guys are, let's see, Otterkey and Nira are able to leap out of the way as the ground crumbles from underneath you. It's pretty much centered on where the reflector is. And essentially a chasm, a 20-foot chasm has crumbled out from underneath you. And let me, let's see.
20 feet wide.
Hang on. 10 foot wide, 10 foot long. No, 10 foot wide, 20 foot long. And I'm ruling that it was in all, you guys, who cares? It's right here. That's what I'm saying.
But does it look deep? Yeah, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
It is about 20 foot deep. And so the two of you that fall are going to take 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Wait, who falls?
Doke and Alaric.
Oh.
Oh, it's just the kid.
6 bludgeoning damage and
All right, how much was that?
6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And it turns out there's now sharp spikes on the bottom. And so that's going to be another
20.
another 8 piercing damage.
Ow.
And then How much was that I just said? The 8 piercing damage, and then did I say 6?
6.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So now, where's my markers? All right. So that's the where this new chasm is. All right. Okay. So we're still in initiative. I'm going to rule that as having just been the cave dragon's turn. Granis, I'll say that you are, off the map currently, but with your with a double move action, you could get onto the map.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna. Now the rumbling has died down. Yes.
Well, it is no longer, like the when you say the rumbling has died down, the chasm is open.
Yeah. The chasm is open, but like there's not. It doesn't feel like there's.
It does not feel like an ongoing earthquake. It seems like it was a one thing that happened.
Okay. So I'm gonna move over and I'm gonna see if I can help them out.
Okay. I'm going to rule that you can basically get to here by dashing on this turn.
Okay.
Okay.
And I've grabbed the one of the rocks to come with me.
Okay. Great. Alaric, your turn.
So did the thing fall down with us? The
Yeah.
MacGuffin, whatever it's
Yeah,
called?
it's in the hole with you.
I'm going to go get that.
All right.
And if I can... It's unwieldy but not heavy, right? So.
Right.
Does it look strong?
It looks pretty sturdy. It doesn't seem to have taken any damage from the dropping into the hole.
Do I think I could toss it up out of the hole?
You can try making a check for it. This would be an athletics check.
I'll
Wait,
give it
he's
a
trying to
try.
throw what out of the hole?
It's a
The
reflector.
reflector.
Oh, it's gonna break.
It sounded like it was sturdy.
It didn't break from falling in the hole.
That's true.
Damn. I only got a 9.
All right. Yeah, I think you kind of get it almost up, but then it sort of tosses back down, and you can kind of sort of catch it as it's falling back down, but it didn't quite make it out of the pit.
Yeah.
Okay. Otterkey is going to run over here and reach an arm down to assist Doak. So on Doak's turn, Otterkey is going to help him climb out. And then it is actually Doak's turn right now, so I'll say that the two of them are now... yeah, you know what? I was just about to do that, and so Doak gets a piercer. Which gets a critical one, so it falls on its own face. Alright. That is Doak's turn. The piercers are crawling away. And Nira, you are up again.
I'm going to use the thaumaturgy cantrip to create rumbles kind of in this general area.
Yeah, so it's in a 30-foot radius.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
And
so
then
the
there's-
whole ground starts to...
Ah, damn it. It's moving again.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're good. It's just me. We're good. For the moment.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to decide how that... Yeah. Emerging from the ground, right near you, Nira, you see this pool of darkness emerge from the ground. And, in fact, actually, you find yourself enveloped in it. So you are blinded as this darkness swirls up out of the ground and encompasses you. And it's going to make... first of all, I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw.
Crap. Oh, this is not going to go well.
Oh no, I have extras on saving throw.
Doak gets his bonus, from Otterkey's bonus for being within 10 feet, so
14. So that's
21.
he gets 21 is a success.
25.
Success.
14.
14 is a failure. You are frightened of the dragon.
Damn right I am.
Yeah. Doak gets 15, which is a failure. Otterkey gets 19, which is just barely a success. Okay. But then the dragon is going to attack you, Nira, with a bite and 2 claw attacks. However, it's attacking at disadvantage because it is confused by the trembling.
Yes.
Don't get too excited. It still has
I know.
hefty modifier.
I
but,
know.
yeah.
I know, but every
But,
little
you know,
bit
hey,
helps.
it's okay. That's a 16
Yep.
and a 17 is the so for the first attack. So that
Yeah.
hits with the bite. 3d6 plus 8.
It's not going to go well.
Ooh, it rolled high too. So 15 piercing damage and 3 poison damage.
Oh my god. I'm so going to die. So that's 3 piercing damage. So it's 18 total. Is that what you said?
3 poison damage.
3 poison damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, 18 total.
Yeah, down to 9 hit points. That's cool.
And it's going to attack with its claws as well.
Great. Bye, guys. I'll see you later.
Hey, I'm stuck in a hole.
Um,
So it's back to normal.
Disadvantage. Ooh. So that's a 15. I'll rule that you can have your shield out by now, with all this going on.
Okay.
It's 15.
That was a
still hit?
15?
Yeah.
With the shield, no.
All right. You bat a claw out of the way.
Yay!
And then second claw attack.
Oh, God.
Yeah, at disadvantage, that's still 22.
Yep.
All right. It's 12 slashing damage.
I am... Yeah. That takes me down below 0.
Okay, you are unconscious, and the rest of you can't see her, but I'll allow that you probably
Screamed
heard
or
her
something.
cry out and perhaps collapse. Okay.
And the lightning disperses and the tremors probably stop.
Yeah, they do. Okay. Granis, it is your turn.
Okay, so since I have seen what the dragon looks like,
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to tell where within the darkness he might be, right?
It's a weird shape. It could be in a lot of different positions. So you would still be attacking without being able to see it, which is a disadvantage.
All right. So I'm going to try to attack by throwing a rock with disadvantage.
Okay.
So that was a disadvantage. Yeah, that means that I got 19.
That hits.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me get the right thing. I want to make sure I roll the correct dice
Mm-hmm.
this time.
I'm sorry?
I roll 4d10.
Okay.
Plus 6. Here it comes. And the creature has to make a saving throw. Strength
Okay.
saving throw.
I'm sorry, how much was the damage?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, okay. Well, so do that first, and then we'll
Yep,
do the
no
saving throw.
So that's 6, 15, 19 points of damage.
All right. Okay, and then what? It makes his strength saving throw?
Yep, to see if it's not prone.
Okay. 14.
It is prone.
All right. You guys hear a pretty substantial thump sound as it snarls out in pain. Ah! All right, Granis, that's your turn. Are you going to move at all?
I'm gonna stay where I am because I'm in a different direction than everybody else. I think that's to my advantage, and I might shout, "Don't! Couldn't you make it shake too?"
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He'll consider that. Okay, Alaric, you're up.
I'm gonna try to heave this thing as more desperation.
Okay.
Before, it's just an action, so I'll give it a try. That's better.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I say that I just step back towards the wall and any debris that I might see?
Like that.
I realized I should have
Do
moved.
you go all the way to the wall?
Well, yeah. I just kind of wanted to step, just a little bit back and
Okay.
towards debris, so I could pick up a stone
Sure.
for the next time.
Yeah, I'll say you have rocks over there. Uh-huh.
Total of 20.
Okay, yeah, 20, you're able to heave it out. This is drawn on, not a token, so we'll just say that you've heaved it out of the hole.
Yeah, in the opposite side of where it is.
Okay, yeah, so over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash and try to get out of the hole myself.
Yep, make an athletics check again.
Another 20. Total.
All right, well done. You have climbed out of the hole with the thing. And I'll even allow that you didn't go into the space where there was a beer zone. All right. So that's your turn. Otterkey's turn. And I think he's going to say, "Don't worry, guys. I've got the same daylight spell." And he starts making a motion to catch it. And then all of a sudden, you hear the dragon, "Biskala!" And Otterkey finds his spell just dissipating.
Oh. Well, that
I-
sucks.
I didn't know it could do that.
We don't know a lot about it.
That seriously sucks.
Nope. All right. That was Otterkey's turn. Doke's turn. Let's see, what is he gonna do?
Make it shake. Make it shake.
Oh, he says, I know. I'll try that in a second, but first, he is going to pull out his wand of binding,
Ooh.
and he is going to expend 5 charges to cast Hold Monster.
Wow.
What is the save for that? I think it's probably Wisdom, but let's double check. Yeah, Wisdom saving throw. All right. Okay. Rolled a 2 plus 6. And as he reaches out with this wand, and a bolt of energy pierces the darkness of the sphere, and you hear the dragon suddenly and you don't hear it moving anymore. All right. Okay. Doke said, "Oh my god, I can't believe that worked. It's paralyzed."
That's good.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's
Nira,
kill it.
make a death saving throw, please.
I have to beat 10, right?
Yeah,
Or
just a straight D20. You want 10 or better.
2.
Oh, no. Well, a 2 is a failure, but at least it's not a critical failure. All right, that is 1 failure for Nira. Okay. It is Cave Dragon's turn. And it gets to make a save and save on it in the end of its turn. It rolled a 2 again! Still paralyzed. Alright, okay.
That's what happened. It's contagious.
Okay, so the cave dragon is still paralyzed. Granis, you can tell now that this this thing, the dragon does not seem to be able to move at all.
And it's on the ground.
Yeah, prone.
So I have a question. If I do damage to it, will it break the paralyzing spell?
Not until it gets to make another save on its turn, regardless.
Okay.
It doesn't automatically break it. So you would have to move into the darkness, and while it's normally advantage, it cancels out the disadvantage from the darkness. So you would basically make straight attacks.
I can't throw into the darkness?
Okay. What I'm going to suggest
Mhm.
is that if you throw, you're still at disadvantage, and you can throw one attack.
Okay.
If you move into melee range, you're not you're rolling at
That's
disadvantage, and if you hit, it's a critical hit because it's paralyzed.
Because it's paralyzed, you can't poison me, right? I hope.
Well,
Right.
he's paralyzed, so he couldn't. I mean, it's not his turn.
And there's
do
no
that.
risk of hitting me.
Yeah.
Yep,
So-
I'm gonna do that. Step in.
Right.
I am-
So, because you can make two, melee attacks and not at disadvantage. So, that's what I would suggest. But you do have to move into the darkness to do that.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that, and that is a 21.
It hits, and so it is a critical because he's paralyzed. So you're gonna
by
roll.
the way, the last time I attacked, we did not add the +6 to that, so it was
Okay.
19 + 6.
Okay.
Just all right, and then that it is. Make sure I roll the correct dice. That is 3. 6.
So, yeah. So double whatever the normal damage would be.
Oh, okay.
But damage the dice.
So your normal club attack would be 3d8 + 6.
Mhm.
So you're going to roll 6d8 + 6 for that hit.
Okay, so we've got 14, 22, 24, 28, 31 + 6. So
Okay.
37.
All right. Okay. All right, now roll your second attack.
That is 24.
That hits also. Also a critical hit because it's still paralyzed. So do that again.
I like this. Roll all the dice. Okay, so 10, 16, 17, 18, 21 + 6, that's 27.
Okay. Let's see. You can hear as you're pounding into this thing's paralyzed form, you can hear it just. All right. Alaric, your turn.
Now, given that I'm still frightened that I can't see a damn thing, I'm just going to keep
Yeah.
moving. as
Oh,
far as I can.
I don't think you made the saving throw again at the end of your last turn. To see if you were to beat the fright.
No, I did not.
Yeah, so you can make
what-
another wisdom saving throw for the previous turn.
Not 20. Holy crap.
Yeah, you are not
Yeah.
frightened then this turn.
Yay!
Alright, well, the thing is secured. Well, in that case, knowing the near is in there somewhere. Somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm going to move into the darkness.
Okay, you going kind of around the side here, or
Yep.
all right?
And I'm going to skirt where the hole is because
Mm-hmm.
it was somewhere near there, and I'm just looking for her.
All right, make. Let me think. Make a investigation check or perception. I'll let you pick, whichever.
Perception would be nice.
Yeah, go for it.
Better at that. 21.
Yeah, you find her.
Okay, I'm going to try to drag her out of there.
Okay.
It's my bonus to dash and drag her out
Yeah, I'll say you managed to do so.
and put her at the feet of Otterkey if I can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say you just get her there. Good job.
Awesome.
That might have not worked out quite as well as if the cave dragon were not paralyzed. I'm just going to say, but
Oh,
given
yeah.
that he is, hey,
When not frightened, he's brave. Also,
right.
I need Nira to stay alive.
yeah. So
kept me alive for
it
the one.
is Otterkey's turn, and he has.
Lay on hands.
He does. He only has 15 left of it, but he's going to give you 10, Nira.
Sweet.
You have 10 hit points and you are conscious. Prone on the ground.
Ouch.
And he's going to warn you. I think it has magic spells too.
Oh, lovely.
Alright. That's his turn. Doke is going to say, can't believe I'm out of fireballs. What else does he
Grandness
have?
is in there. You wouldn't want to do that.
Well, yeah, but okay, you're right. So here's a question: are we fighting or are we running?
It's what's going on right now. I don't know. Nira was unconscious. I don't know that she knows it's paralyzed.
Close enough. He's gonna firebolt into the darkness at disadvantage. Yeah, that's a miss.
Is it even because the darkness gives him disadvantage, but it's paralyzed, so he gets advantage?
You're right. So the first one was a 10, which would be with his modifier 16, but that's still a miss.
Yeah.
You're right, though. Okay. That is his turn. And he blinks out. Bloop. That's still going. Okay. Nira, you are conscious. You realize that this sphere of darkness is still right near you. I think maybe Otterkey can yell out to you that it's paralyzed at the moment, but I don't know for how long.
Okay. Okay. We'll do. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna cast Shatter, kind of in the center.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Of the thing.
What saving? Oh well, it's so.
Uh-huh.
What type of saving throw is it?
I
Feel
think
like
it's-
Shatters maybe Constitution.
Yeah.
Okay, because it does not auto fail Constitution saving throws. It also has a good Constitution, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that the right saving throw?
Yeah. Constitution.
Okay, so it got a 14, but the thing to realize is it has a plus 12 modifier for Constitution saving throw, so it rolled a 2. So
Okay.
that fails, right?
Yeah. It has to be 15.
Yeah, so that's a fail.
Cool. Let's
All
do Destructive Wrath then.
Okay. Seems like a good time for it.
So that is 3d8 damage. So that's 24.
Yeah. all right.
Don't piss off the cleric.
Oh, wait, but so this is thunder damage, though?
Yeah, I think whenever I do lightning or thunder damage.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but while it from other attacks, you've heard it sort of grunt in pain, and you don't this time.
Ah,
You hear the resounding crash, but it doesn't seem to react.
Damn it.
Okay, so it is its turn again, and I think it makes another saving throw at the end of its turn.
Ah.
Okay. It rolled
Did
a
it get
1.
a 2?
It rolled a 1.
Oh!
It is still paralyzed. Dang. Okay, yeah. It is still paralyzed, and it is you hear just the barest amount of muttering that would probably be draconic if it could move its lips. That's what it says. It's probably rude in draconic. Granis, you're up.
So Gratis raises her great club up above her head and screams, "You should have!" So that is a 21.
Yep, that's gonna hit. You're still getting the crits because she's paralyzed,
Yep.
or he's
So that-
paralyzed. Yeah.
Yep, that is, let's see, 10, 15, 21 plus 6, 27. Jeez,
Okay.
I end up getting these similar rolls. So that was, you should have
Mm-hmm.
played. So that's 24.
Yeah.
And then that's 12 and 26 and 8 is 20 no, sorry, 34 plus 6 is 40. The game.
So lesson for the week, kids: don't be paralyzed where a stone giant can hit you with its great club.
Yes.
It's not dead yet or anything, but you're walloping it pretty hard right now. Okay.
So am I to take it that it healed in the time that from our fight in between?
Yeah. It
doesn't
turns
seem
out
fair.
that you guys had time for a short rest. So the clue there, incidentally, is how fast it can make those tunnels. Do you think it took an hour and a half to make that arena? Anyway, I'm just taunting you now. Okay, that was Granis's turn. Alaric, you're up.
So I guess we're doing this then. I pull out that little dragon tooth dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I dive in towards the darkness.
Okay, so you do have an ally adjacent to it.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have advantage. It would be straight roll because of the darkness would cancel out the any other advantage. But you do have an ally adjacent.
Yep. So
So,
I'll get
yeah.
my sneak attack if I
Yeah.
hit.
So if you hit with a straight roll, it'll be an auto crit with sneak attack.
All right.
Plus fun irony if you're killing a dragon with a dragon tooth dagger.
24 to hit.
Okay. 24 hits, yeah.
Okay, and the sneak attack and crit. This is nice. I like this part. Uh, 31. Once
Okay.
again.
Yeah, all right.
Second
Is that-
attack.
Yep.
26 to hit.
All right.
Still a
26,
crit?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
17 points of damage.
17. Okay.
I'm going to do an action surge.
Okay.
And do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, it was only a 10 to hit. Or,
Okay.
sorry, 12 to hit.
Yeah, 12 is not enough, unfortunately.
And a 19 to hit.
19 is enough.
Oh,
My camera's out of focus now for some reason. There we go.
14 points of damage. This is me getting some of my frustration of all the
Yeah.
failure I've had all friggin' night.
Okay.
Hey, at least you're doing it where it counts.
Yeah, you guys have done a lot of damage to it here. Boy,
And I will step back 10 feet.
the fact that it is, oh yeah, so you had run into the darkness, we'll say, you know what, I'm going to say you backed out here and you're going to get a piercer to the head.
Oh, jeez.
It rolled an 8, you're fine. Bloop. All right. Okay. Otterkey's turn. And he's kind of like, oh man, you guys are having all the fun. And he runs into the darkness. You know. All right, so he is going to do his, his attacks with his sword. So straight roll, but a crit if he hits. And that is only 15, so that's a miss with the first attack. Oh no, that's only a 12. He misses. So he's in there adjacent to it, but he misses with both of his attacks, unfortunately. Okay, Doke's turn. He blinks back in. Blink. I'm gonna say he lands there and a piercer drops on his head. 16, it hits him.
Yeah.
11. That's 11 piercing damage. And he is actually looking pretty injured now, but he is not, out for the count. But he's holding his head like, ow, ow, ow. Let's see, what is he gonna do now? He's out of his 3rd level spells. He's gonna use Scorching Ray. But because it's ranged and he can't see, yeah, so it is with disadvantage. But he's gonna. So first attack is a 16, miss. Second attack is a 7, that's a miss. That would have been a crit. Oh, okay, so that's a 21, which hits, but it's not a crit because that's not how ranged works with melee. But he still hits with at least 1 here and does 8 points of fire damage. Okay. That was Doke's turn. Nira, you're up again.
So I have a question. Toll the Dead, it says one creature that I can see within range.
I'm sorry. So say again.
Toll the Dead, it says one creature that I can see within range.
So, strictly speaking, the magical darkness would prevent you from seeing him. However, I kind of ruled homebrew in my head that Doke was able to use his wand if he made an Arcana check that would beat the AC. So I'll allow it in this case too. So if you make an Arcana check that beats 18, I'll let you cast it, even though it's through the darkness.
Okay. Let's see. Arcana check. Arcana. Okay. That is a 19.
Ah, that works. So yes,
Sweet.
you can cast Toll the Dead.
All right.
The thing is, it's like you technically can't see it because of the darkness, but you know it's in there. So I figured just making an extra challenge instead of just ruling it out impossible. And you guys are sure lucky that Doke rolled well on his Arcana check because this whole monster has worked out pretty well for you.
Good kid.
All
right. So, because it is missing some of its hit points, it takes 2d12
Yeah.
necrotic damage. 13. And I would, as my, as a bonus action, I'm going to use Healing Word on Doke.
Okay. You will appreciate it, I'm sure.
1d4 plus 3. It won't be much, but it's something.
You're okay, right?
I have 10.
I was just gonna say, I don't think 10's enough.
Oh,
So 6 points.
okay. All right.
And
He feels a little bit better. 6 points better, in fact. Okay.
And I would like to move back just a little bit. yeah, that's good.
All right. Okay, it is the cave dragon's turn. On the end of its turn, is making another saving throw. It rolled a 3.
Good.
So let's see. Strictly speaking, what would it have to be in order to? So the whole, it needed 17. Yeah, it definitely has to be. It has to roll higher than that. Okay, so yeah, it is still paralyzed. Granis?
My turn.
Here, you know what? I'm just gonna go cinematic. You're gonna kill this thing. Tell me how.
So Granis has completely lost her cool, which is the exact opposite of what she's supposed to be doing and what she's been raised to do. She is thrashing this thing worse than she thrashed the beacon and the reflector, and she is just pounding its flesh and saying, if you didn't torture me, we could have been friends, and I didn't have to be alone. Why am I alone? And just beating it. Why am I alone? Why
as
am I alone?
with each hit, the darkness flickers. Like, so every time she hits it, the darkness briefly disappears and then resumes, almost like lightning, in a storm. Bam and bam, 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 and you can see it just still frozen, taking, and then the darkness disappears, and you can see it revealed. Its armor is cracked, and blood is dripping out of it in a lot of places, and you can see that it's the darkness fades, and even against the paralysis.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun,
Cave
dun,
Dragon
dun.
is
I think-
dead.
I think that Granis is still pounding on it, and we'll need somebody to wake her up out of
No,
the
you
pain.
know-
Granis, you're just making wine at this point.
I'm just making wine. Sorry, Mark. What did you say?
I think it's tenderizing the meat for later.
Well, wine is good for tenderizing meat, right? and she finally stops and just, and the club drops, and she's trembling.
Are you good? I was saying from a distance, a far distance.
I think Doak kind of hurries over to you, and in Giant just says, "You just killed a dragon."
Is that good?
Yeah.
I got so angry.
He
I'm
hugs
not
you
supposed
around
to
the
get
leg.
angry.
Like, he only comes like just above your knee, but he hugs you around the leg.
And she just kind of pats him softly. I
Whisper
like
to-
you, littlest one.
Whisper to Otterkey. He's kind of brave for a young kid.
I think he, as he releases the hug, he kind of turns around to the rest of you and just says, "Ow! I don't know if you guys have any more healing or what, but I'm not feeling great right now."
The same.
Grenis scoops up Doak and carries him over to Nira and Otterkey. Heal, littlest one, please.
He can give Doak only 5 more hit points, but he does. His lay on hands is exhausted.
He doesn't have cure wounds, does he?
He does
I
not.
do, but I only have 2 spell slots left in level 1. Hold on.
Let's see. You know what? He has Aura of Vitality, but his spell slots are empty.
So, okay. So we have a moment, right?
Well,
I'm going
the dragon is dead, and everything seems silent for the moment.
Okay, I am going to sit down and kind of center myself. I take a deep breath, and I am going to recite a prayer of healing for everybody.
Oh, okay, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
2d8 plus 3. Okay. 9. So everybody take 9.
Appreciate it.
That's all I've got for level 2 spells.
You guys take a rest. I've got to find out what's in these shiny bits.
Yeah.
And I'll be going through the trophy case.
All right. So,
Okay.
as you work through that, what I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, congratulations on level 11, you guys.
Woo! Yay!
Dope gets to be level 7. Yeah.
Oh man.
But also, let me get my. I can't find the book that I was looking for at the moment. That's okay. I have some specific loot, but also I'm gonna roll you guys some random loot. How about that?
Ooh.
Sweet.
That's fun.
Is there anything valuable on that dragon?
Well,
To
Just
harvest?
anything
like to
left?
harvest, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a handy ranger or anything to tell you these things specifically.
I think
but-
at this point it's kind of like a squeegee, though. You just kind of pick up
Well,
pieces and squeeze
yeah,
it.
One would
Well,
assume
I mean,
that
it's still
Doak would
pretty
know.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to say both you and Doak can make an intelligence check. He's going to make it with advantage just because he likes dragons and thinks they're cool.
You being.
Oh, Nira, sorry. 'Cause
I
she
was
asked.
gonna say.
Oh,
Not me.
wait. I have to make a roll.
Yeah,
What
well,
roll?
because to see if you know also. Doak is also making one.
Okay. Sorry. Which roll was that? I didn't.
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, Nira's really tired, so that's only an 11.
Okay. Doak actually got a 20. So he's just going to say, well, yeah, I mean, like all sorts of things on a dragon can be really valuable. I mean, the hide. I mean, this one doesn't seem to have scales quite like a regular dragon. But I'm sure that hide is really tough, and its teeth and everything. I mean, like, all sorts of things will sell just to collectors, but some of them can even be used for magic and stuff. But I don't actually know how to like harvest them.
Someone just chopped me off a claw or something. I'm going to wear it as a necklace.
I think Otterkey
She-
can handle that for you.
Flops back on the ground. It's just like, oh god.
Mira is like the scariest cleric ever.
We have to keep reminding her she's a cleric.
I didn't choose the cleric life. The cleric life chose me.
It's
This
true.
is true.
Is that what
Yeah.
you got tattooed on your hand? Cleric life, yo.
Next time we're in town.
Okay, so let me look up your the loot that you guys find as you search the. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let you know we're not in initiative anymore. You guys are able to take some time here to recover, take a long rest or a short rest again if you want. Up to you if you want to take a long rest down here. But
I have a out of character question. What kind
Sure.
of dragon is that?
it is a cave dragon. It is from Tome of Beasts. It is not one of the ones from the standard monster manual.
Awesome.
But yeah.
I did not. I was so curious, but I had to stop myself from looking it up.
Yeah, well, that part of the reason it's fun to use alternate books is to inhibit the ability to check those things. But at that same time, like, it had saved some of its tricks from the previous fight, like the counterspell, for example. But then it being paralyzed until it was dead, that was
That's awesome. So,
Wait.
other out of character
That's
question:
much.
does
Yeah.
it dispelling Archie's spell? Did that take up the spell slot as well?
Yes. So
Ah.
it can
I
cast
have-
counterspell as a reaction.
Nice.
So I have one spell left that I can cast Daylight. I saved it. So we still have that.
Let's see. Okay, so you find 2 rubies worth 300 gold pieces each. You find 35 platinum coins. You find a set of armor, which seems to be magical in some way, although you don't necessarily know what it does. And then
Ooh, I can help with that.
that's true. Yeah, and then Doak actually says, and I actually can cast that once too. Identify if we need to, but let's see what else we've got first. And then so that stuff you definitely found. You find like a nice, like fancy looking greatsword, but your guess is that it's not magical. It's tarnished a little bit, but it looks like if polished up, it could be really nice just as a standard, mundane but fancy sword. Let's see. And there's, did I say 30 platinum coin? 35?
35.
Yeah, you actually, there's 50 because I have 2 sets. One is 35 and one is 15. So you find those different amounts in different spots. And then now I'm going to roll you some random treasure from the table. How's that sound?
Cool.
You know what? I'm going to... You know what? Actually, give me this. Okay. So, who wants to roll the treasure hoard randomizer? This is, so, yeah, you're going to roll percentile dice. One of you pick that, and then we're going to have some more rolls to determine individual things. But first,
Okay.
this is a treasure hoard that you're rolling for. So roll a percentile dice.
I think Nira went down, so she gets something out of that.
Okay, so that's a 0, and that's a 4. So 4?
Okay. So that is 2d4 art objects. Let's see. So that's going to be 6 sort of art objects. These are like vases and other like small statues and other carvings and everything that you believe would probably be worth about 250 gold each.
I would note that Amethyst has the bag of holding.
She does, yeah.
We'll have to get a cart of somewhat holding.
Granis, I think you have like a regular sack. It's not magical, but it's,
Yeah,
giant size.
I would assume.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're also going to roll... what is... I'm going to roll 3 times on magic tables for you here. I have to pick which table to roll from. There's a lot of these. Let's see.
It's kind of funny how dragons are just 1 R from hoarder.
All right. So basically, what I'm going to do. Each member of the party gets to do 1 percentile roll for this this magic table. So
68.
68. Nira, you have a spell scroll. You find a spell scroll of a 5th level spell. I'm going to... let's see. It doesn't say which it is because that's what you get with these random tables. I will figure out what spell it is in a second here. So I'm gonna
I can add spell scroll 5th level.
Well, no, let me
Yeah, but it doesn't on D&D Beyond. It doesn't specify what spell it is.
I know. But what I'm gonna do is we're gonna randomly roll for. I'm gonna make sure it's a cleric spell, so you'll be able to use it. But we're gonna randomly roll from the 5th level cleric spells. So roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll a d20.
3.
You have found a spell of Dispel Evil and Good.
Okay.
All right. Alaric, what's your percentile roll?
30.
30. you have received a potion that has a potion vial with an eyeball bobbing in a yellowish liquid.
Of course I found an eyeball. All right.
All right. Granis, you get a roll too.
Oh, I do? Oh.
Yep.
So that is a 31. No. Wait, what is it? A 30 and a 10? Is that a 40?
A 30 and a 10 would be
30.
is it yes, that would be a 30.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you roll again just so it's not the same as
So I have a
Alaric's.
collection of potions and
yeah.
eyeballs.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a theme in this particular place.
All right, let me keep going till I don't get 30.
You got 30 again.
Oh my god! All right, 7 and an 8.
Okay, so is that a 78 or an 87?
It would be a 78 because I chose
Okay.
this as the first one.
You have found a it is a vial of cloudy gray oil. And once you guys take some time, and with the identify spell you can identify all of these, but yeah. And then
This is funny looking.
yeah.
Just Greta,
Otterkey
Oh.
gets
toss.
65, and he has another. A lot of these are potions, but no, just you guys keep rolling on the potion one. This is it is a dense purple liquid with an ovoid cloud of pink floating in it. And then Doak rolls 33. Yeah, so this is a liquid that has a tiny red bead in it that keeps growing and then shrinking again. All right. I'm going to give the group 2 rolls on another table here. So whoever wants to make those rolls can.
Percentile again?
Yeah.
79.
All right. Ooh. Let's see. This is it's sort of a slightly metallic, like iron ore looking stone that has some runes on it. Make an intelligence check.
19.
You recognize that this is what is known as an Ioun stone. There are many different types, but what you have here is a fortitude Ioun stone, which, let me tell you what that does. You can add it to yourself, but basically, when you are attuned to it, your Constitution score increases by 2.
Nice.
And basically, this pink rhomboid stone will float orbiting your head while you are attuned to it.
Like permanent? Like all the time?
While you are attuned to it, you don't have to have it active, but to gain the benefit, you do. So you can have it active when you want, and then take it down other times if you want. But you only get the +2 to Constitution when it's attuned.
Okay.
All right, and then one more percentile roll.
I think Alaric might need that.
What are you saying? Just because I had a very poor performance. 54.
54. Ooh. Oh man, that's pretty good, actually. I think as soon as it. So this is, you have found a wand. It is clearly very magical.
Hey, Alaric, you want to trade?
I don't know what this does yet.
Well, I can tell you what this one does.
Doak is going to say, I can do identify once. I'll do it on this one as as a first try.
It's the one that's the most unknown. I mean, armor we know does, armory things.
He casts Identify on the wand, and it is a Wand of the War Mage +3. While it requires attunement by a spellcaster, while holding it, you gain a +3 bonus to spell attack rolls, and you ignore half cover when making a spell attack.
Oh,
I think Doak
So
makes
much.
approximately the same noise just then. Like, oh, that's so cool. I could actually use this one. He kind of looks at you and is like, but you did go unconscious. And he kind of holds it out to you sheepishly, Mira.
Well, hey now, I found it.
Well, okay,
Maybe I could hit something finally.
I will use the magnifying glass on the armor.
okay. You discover that particular armor, it's probably good that you didn't just try attuning to it to see, because it is actually what is known as armor of vulnerability. And what it does is it's actually cursed to where it gives you resistance to bludgeoning damage, but vulnerability to piercing damage. Meaning you would take half damage of bludgeoning, but double damage for piercing if you were wearing it.
That doesn't sound like fun.
And then, so you've got assorted potions, and you know what? I'm just going to tell you what they are, because I don't care to make you wait. So I'll assume that you guys take some time and figure it out and think about it. And there's actually, I believe, a rule in there that says that you can tell what a potion is by just like tasting like a drop of it, which is a weird rule, but fine. You guys, amongst all of you, have found a potion of not clairvoyance, but potion of mind reading, which essentially lets you. It's the equivalent of the detect thoughts spell, but basically you don't have to cast the spell. You just essentially drink the potion, and it's like you have cast the spell on yourself. You also have Doak found a potion of diminution, because it basically does the enlarge reduce spell. This potion does the reduce effect of it.
It's like the opposite of the giant size one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
You
not
shouldn't
super
drink
impressed
that.
with that one.
You shouldn't drink that. You're already small.
Yeah. And then what Bran has found is called Oil of Etherealness. It can cover a medium or smaller creature, so you wouldn't be able to really make use of it. But along with the equipment it's wearing and carrying, applying the oil takes 10 minutes, and it basically gives you the effect of the Etherealness spell for 1 hour, which basically lets you, move through solid objects, and you're essentially on the ethereal plane.
That's so cool.
It is. The one downside is it's a little bit like Doak's blink spell, except you don't come in and out. You're just there for an hour, which is good for going in and spying on stuff, but you can't actually do anything while you're there unless there's something else on the ethereal plane with you.
So, Granis is like, one of you guys can use this. It's not enough for me.
I will take that. Yoink.
All right.
I'm actually gonna give that stone. I kind of want to give it to Doak.
He accepts it and says, "Really?
You earned it, kid.
Yeah.
Well, let me." And he looks down and he says, "Strictly speaking, my mom's didn't tell me that this stuff was for keeping, but..." And he takes off a necklace that he was wearing and hands it to you, and he says, "This is a periaptive wound closure. If you ever, if you attune to it, if you ever go unconscious, you automatically stabilize. And and when you're resting for a short rest, you can recover more hit points."
Are you sure you want to give that up?
My moms will be furious, but here.
Can-
all right. I will
They
put
gave
on
it to me
the
to
necklace.
use. I am using it as I see fit.
Oh, thank you.
Nobody let
And
Tiny.
he, and he
get
holds the Iron Stone and says, "Thank you. This is
hurt. You know, for the audio version of this,
very cool."
doesn't come across so well, but yeah.
Yeah. Thank you is just very cool, is what he says in a whisper. But so I think it's probably a good time to go ahead and bring us to a close for this evening. But congratulations, you guys! You slayed a dragon.
Yay!
I have mixed feelings.
Aw, don't have mixed feelings. This was a bad dragon.
Yeah, I still won't tell Rory.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, anyway, thank you, all of you, for playing. I'm glad we were able to run tonight. And we're going to try to see if we can't be back next week. Although I know, Mark, I think you're out next week.
I'm out next week. Yeah.
Are you, well, we'll sort it out. But I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to play next week. So thank you guys. And thank you, everyone in the chat. Yay! And we'll be back next week for more adventure on
So many levels!